Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings Online after many issues trying to get my audio working. And I got my microphone, I had to plug it into a different USB port is ultimately what happened there, but it took a lot of time to basically test that and get it working again. And today I plan to continue my Wildwood preparation, and there is a little bit of news regarding Wildwood. Oh no, it looks like I did not actually turn in the daily. I did this yesterday. Or, yeah, I think I did that yesterday, but forgot to turn in the daily, so I will not be starting with turning in missions. Just thought I would do that on stream, but I actually have no use of doing that. But as far as the little bit of news for Wildwood goes, the third round of beta, that started today. And where do I want to take this character? Probably should take him to Bree to start, but that started today, and there are a few exciting things and I think some very good news that has answered some of my concerns that I went over in my recent video on that, or recent as in last week, I think. So I might also switch to actually doing the beta depending how far we get today. I might switch to doing that at the end of this stream to check all that out with you all. But just to get this character, what I'm actually going to be doing is I want to wrap up Trollshaws at least as much as possible today. I have, as far as I know, mostly group quests left, but I do have... Oh, he's at Tenodir? Maybe I should go ahead and do that as well. So I have mostly group quests left, but I also do have the book quests, which I would like to do. Which I believe is going to be this one, not the Red Maid. That is an Oscaroth, or Garthagar one is what it is called. But yeah, if you all, just looking over at my stream again, if there are any issues with the microphone or anything like that, y'all could please let me know. Actually, I don't hear anything. Okay, I just had to turn my volume up. Now I need to mute that again. Okay, so all sounds like it's actually good, but I want to go to Tenodir, I think I just mentioned, to turn in that one quest. And for the missions, those are just extra things that I can do and can turn in if I want the boost of XP. So that is what is going on with those. And also, I do have a couple of new members to thank. So since my last stream, we actually had 2 new people become members on my channel, Robin Wendell and Aaron Rand. I don't know if they're watching this stream, but I wanted to thank them for becoming members because that is what I do at the beginning of every stream. So I believe that moves me over 20 members, so anybody that is a member, thank you all for the support. And hello, Elia Delanus, you said the audio is all good. That is good to know just because I've had so many issues with trying to get that set up, and some weird crackly noises at one point as well. Okay, so really trying, after doing that, it just takes me a minute to get back into the mindset of actually what I am doing. And this is not who I need to go to. I actually don't even know where the quest is. I'm pretty sure I had a quest to talk to somebody. Just Glorfindel's company. He is to the northwest. Okay, so he's with the rep people, it looks like. So I think most of the interesting news for the third round of the Wildwood beta is a lot of the itemization looks done and complete. And I had a lot of concerns basically about how the loot and how the instances would work with the levels and things like that. And it actually looks like it all works okay. So who is this Archeel person? West Shore. Wow, so I did not even need to come here and do this, but that's okay because I can just use guide debris. So yeah, my inventory is actually getting fairly messy on this character. I don't even know if I would say messy, it's just getting pretty full of crafting materials and scroll cases. And I also, once again, meant to get my Forester and Prospector up. Every time I forget, I should probably actually do that like in the middle of a stream to make sure I do it. It seems like of all the things I think to do for this character to prepare for the stream, or just for what this character is doing in general, I forget to actually do his Prospector and Forester, the expert tiers on those, so I can gather mats. And that'll be a little bit sad actually, because we are going to the giant, I don't think it's called Giant Halls, that is the one in Misty Mountains, but Giant Valley. We'll be doing a lot there, and there are a ton of resources nodes there with both Forester and the Prospector, I believe.
Could you do something for me?
Okay, so get my VIP reward so I can have my subscriber town services. Always useful. And I accidentally used 20 Virtue XP. I meant to send that to my alt. I usually funneled those to my Warden just because my Warden is basically my main character on the server. But as far as what I need to do inside, let me go ahead and untrack these quests. I'm going to actually go ahead and cancel that quest, I think, just because I don't want it bothering me. I think the first thing I want to do is the book quest, and then I will do North Trollshaws, or maybe North Trollshaws first since it's technically lower level, rather. But the book quest, that is one that is in Thorinhad in the northwestern slope of the Bruinen Gorges north of the Bear Den, so maybe I can head there. I don't even know where my map home it is. It just says return to Rivendell Valley. Oh, Rivendell, that makes sense. I was reading that as like Trollshaws Valley. So that would probably be the best place for me to go. The other place I could go is my campsite, but that is near the Giant Valley, which is probably what I'm going to be doing last today. So I'm kind of thinking I will do the lower to high level stuff in that order. And really it is just tying up a bunch of loose ends since I've done all the main questing as far as Trollshaws go, except the book quests in the 2 group areas, which I plan to attempt to solo today. And I plan to attempt that without even getting myself gear. I can go on my Runekeeper. Maybe that's even something I'll do as a little intermission. Go on my Runekeeper and craft the gear. It should just take a couple minutes at most, I would hope. It's mainly, as far as the crafting goes, actually traveling to my Ken Island and then using all my ingredient pack things and just sending the gear right over, so it should be simple. Sometimes crafting, I know, especially with myself even, it can take a while just because there's a lot of process, but when you have, I believe I could show it on this character, when you have all of these universal ingredient packs, something seems to have stopped me in my tracks. I can turn around at least, and I believe the stream is still going. At least it looks like it's still going, but I cannot actually move. It's making too much progress with the quest. They just had to slow me down. Let me see if I can actually do anything though. Can't browse the shop, so I'm probably going to either completely disconnect or eventually I might reconnect. We'll see. I'm going to keep spinning just to see if I don't know if I should actually restart. There we go. Just needed to wait a minute. But the universal ingredient packs, I don't remember how far I got into talking about that, but there is a housing item, actually 2 housing items, one where you can get like 6 ingredient packs with 1 click, or there's another where you can get 3, and that is per day per character, so it's an insane amount of those you can get a day. And basically if I park my alts there, I don't really do this anymore, but if I do park my alts there, they can get a lot. So it looks like we're going to Thorinhad to the start for Eladon for the book quest and see where that leads. So Stoyan W, you asked a question about some of my videos. I have a little icon above my skill bar. You're not sure what that is. In some of the videos, you might be talking about the show skill queue. Is it like an hourglass, or does it come up with a couple skills usually? I think it could be either of those things pop up on the screen. This is actually a fellowship quest. I did not know that. If you find yourself without a full fellowship, you may draw upon inspiration. Okay. So that is in South Trollshaws. But yeah, if it's the hourglass, there is an option in game to show skill queue. I used to use it, but what I found is I paid no attention to it at all. So while it was a little bit neat, I just ultimately never actually paid attention to it. And I look over and see my face cam or my webcam isn't picking up the brightness. It's not the hourglass. Okay, so sometimes when a skill will proc, I don't think I have anything like that on this character. Sometimes if a skill proc, so for example on the captain, like a defeat event, it'll have a few skills there, and it's just basically that. If you play a class with something, that skills that proc. So I might as well, just because I am on the hunt for XP on this character, I might as well go ahead and do these quests. or do this mountain bear quest. I know I don't really need them for anything, and I've already done this quest, but again, it's just the XP at this point. And I should actually accept the quest before I get killing all of them. This is one of the few landscape times I actually probably should have spec'd into the yellow line. I got that set up. It was something I just played, I think, a little bit too much of, so I was totally out of mood for it, but as I played my hunter more, as we saw in the last stream when I was doing missions, it was enjoyable. And no, that is not an add-on. It is built into the game by default, and you actually cannot even turn it off, so it is something that will always be on for you. I really don't think there's anything on the hunter that pops up unless you have Exsanguinate, which is something I do not quite have yet. But in a couple levels I might be able to show that when it procs. Another example is if you get a snapshot on the yellow line warden. I know it'll pop up. Some classes, again, they just don't have anything. Did I get all the... Yeah, I did get all the bear pelts. I do have a deed for wolves. That is one thing I want to do. If there is time today, I want to do the wolf deeds as well. Let's see, Troll Slayer, might as well get that. I feel like there are so many of these crab in here. I might as well get them as well. That is the nice thing about Trollshaws. If you come back to an area like this, if you want XP, or again, some of these count as deeds, it is a nice zone for that as well. A little bit of re-adventuring in a way. Okay, I'm not too worried about getting these done, but just thought I would basically do anything that is on my way to these other areas that I actually need to go. And I don't remember the book quests exactly where they will all take me, so as long as I can get everything accepted and do what I can do, I think that'll be good. Seem to be moving really fast. I kind of forget this character with find the path movement speed. I don't usually use this. I might have to start recommending it for my leveling builds and the such. So Stoyan, he said, thanks so much for all the videos. I'm glad you like them. And he said you've been using a ton of my videos to learn the game. Well, I'm glad they have also helped you learn the game. That's one big thing I try to do with my channel, is be educational. I know I have not had many guides lately, and I used to, actually, my channel started more as a guide channel as it evolved and the type of content I did changed. I haven't quite done as many guides basically, but I still try to be educational and help people learn about the game. Even with things like the news videos, they're of course informative with that. So yeah, I feel like the last time I was here in Trollshaws, I wasn't doing much of this random killing. There was a bit of that in Highmoor, but I was really wrapping up Rivendell, so it's been a while. It's good to get back into the mood, I guess, with just the random shooting things as a hunter while on the move. And it really does work well with the blue line, especially now that I'm higher level. I know my gear hasn't updated, so it's not like I'm doing a ton of more damage or anything, but I do think I'm killing things a little bit faster at least. All the traits, they help, and they slowly do accumulate to make big changes. Alright, where am I going? I need to actually track the book quest. That would be not this one. I almost want to abandon this quest just because I know I won't do it, even though I thought about going back to that on this character. That's probably not going to happen at this point. Okay, so we do need to go down here. Pick the perfect time to actually turn and check that. What is this? I got... Oh, I thought I got... This looked like one of those items where you can accept a new quest. And this is... Okay. Here's a place where you can draw upon inspiration. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever actually used an item like this before. So it just gives you this huge buff. I'm guessing that's because in the old days of LOTRO, this was intended as like a fellowship quest. And now that there probably aren't that many groups or people leveling here, they have it so you can do this to get through it a little bit easier. Actually, so far, I would definitely not mind the challenge. This is something I don't need to be extremely buff for, basically just killing these signatures. At least until they disarm me. Sorry, my nose is really itchy right now. So Elia Wildwood does need a quest pack for access. They haven't said how much it'll cost, but it was said that it will be a regular quest pack. And Wildwood did not really overhaul the low-level areas. It's just the map change in new area. There, I would say, might be a couple minor changes in the old forest area. I'm not sure as far as landscape goes if there actually is anything. I haven't gotten to investigating that, but there's some things about the map that basically suggest there might be. There are also new quests in the old forest area. There's a cargo searcher. I'm guessing I'm supposed to avoid those, because it even seems with my buffs that probably would not be a good idea to attract a level 75 mob. I'm actually getting a lot of quests. I guess I never realized this was an area I maybe thought of at one point that I never headed to, because usually I just don't do the book quests. By the time I get to Rivendell, like on this character, I'm high enough level and ready to get out of this area. Oh yeah, the Eriador pack. I feel like that should come with Wildwood, like in the future, but if you have the Eriador pack, I'm guessing it won't, but I honestly think it should. So what am I doing for the book quest here? Oh, I'm already done with the book quest, okay. Well, that was easy. Honestly thought I would need to go like way deeper in the camp for the book quest. And yeah, Scratchy Scroll 7, I do like your number, but the best way to farm LOTRO points as free to play is deeds. That is basically the only way to farm LOTRO points. And if you run out of deeds on whatever your main character is, you can just make an alt and redo zones. Basically doing all these quests to finish the quest deed and then doing the Slayer deeds and the exploration deeds of the early zones are usually the fastest, but just make sure you do your deeds while leveling up, and that is the best way. And to farm, you basically would have to make a bunch of alts, and you might have to make an alt like delete one and just use them to complete deeds in the starter zones, and then that will probably be the fastest method for you. Oh no, it looks like I lost my OP fellowship buff. Oh well, it really isn't needed here. Oh no, maybe back in the day this signature area would be a little bit dangerous and warrant the fellowship tag, but right now I definitely don't think so. So Shiny Legions Wildwood, I think, is mainly partially for new people, and I just think it'll be a nice zone to have. For people that are level 130 and don't really play alts or anything, it's probably not going to be the best update for them, but they can still go there and quest and check out the area. But yeah, mainly for alts, and I think newer players or even returning players, just lower level people in general who don't have that high level characters. The only odd thing about Wildwood, I would say, is it's level 45, which is kind of neat to have an area that high level in Bree, just to give you a little tease of actually wanting to go back there maybe when you get higher level, if you're adventuring in Breeland and happen to come upon it, or even if you're in Wildwood, or not Wildwood, if you're in Evendem and come across it and are less familiar with the area. Okay, I still need to defeat... Oh, bats, that is not a quest here. I think I completed all the quests way down here. So I am actually getting a lot of progress on my troll slayers, so might as well stay here and slay these trolls. But as far as it being level 45, I just want to say the only odd part about that is there are already a ton of zones that are around level 45 in LOTRO. So if there's a gap in the lower levels where you want to have an extra zone to level up in, it seems like 45 would be a little bit odd for that. Not that it's bad for the content or doesn't make sense for what Wildwood is, but just to compare the options, you have Misty Mountains, which is lower 40s to mid 40. So that would essentially, if you want to start Wildwood at level 45, you could, for example, do Misty Mountains and then you'd be ready for Wildwood. There's also Forakel, which starts, I would say, around level 45. And then you have Angmar, which goes from basically 40 to 50 or so. There's a lot of group content at the higher end, but it's still available and a lot of content in Angmar to level up, especially with how fast you get XP in LOTRO. Even on the legendary servers here where we get minus 40% XP. Of course I have a bunch of XP boosts, but I still level relatively fast going through Trollshaws here, and I'm only getting, I think I am getting 75% extra XP of 60%. So I'm only getting, if I remember correctly, maybe like 5 to 15% bonus XP overall. Let's see, I should know this, so it's actually 15% over. So yeah, and Wildwood is, yeah, level 45. Almost said 40, but Wildwood is 45. It's not 45 to 50. That's what I thought it would be when they first announced it and had the beta, just from a little bit of knowledge of the area, and it is just 45. The mobs there are about 44 to 46, so I'm guessing leveling wise you might be able to go 45 to 50 in it, but yeah, everything is set to level 45 as far as the quests go. Hello, the Great American Viking. You said, oh, and hello, Iceblood as well. But you said you just discovered my channel a few days ago. I have no idea where I'm walking. So let's shoot a wolf. So as far as you said, you've enjoyed listening to my videos while you play LOTRO. Yeah, I feel like with LOTRO, or even some of my videos, some of them are maybe, I don't know, better oriented for listening, because I do try to have relevant video content, but sometimes my commentaries, there's just like, it's just a commentary and there's nothing really special as far as the background gameplay goes. But anyway, you said you've enjoyed listening to them, and I'm glad you have enjoyed that, and you've played for 5 years, and I'm the first YouTuber that feels legit to you. Well, I'm glad you feel that way about my channel as well. I try to be like a real YouTuber, I guess. I think with LOTRO, there just aren't that many people that cover the game. There we go, I do need the bats. Would have been faster just to shoot him instead of trying to see if I actually needed him for anything. And boars here. See, this is if I actually need XP on this character. I'm trying to get him about level 42 again. If I actually need XP on this character, I'll just do all these quests. They probably won't give a ton of XP, but it'll be something I can just do to not really have to start a new zone, not have to go on a new adventure, and just stay where I am. And the Wildwood content is going to be in Bree, unless you're talking about me actually having Wildwood content. Right now I'm just preparing for it. As much as this might seem like a Wildwood area, it is not quite. That's why I thought it'd be kind of interesting, just because Trollshaws is a forested area, kind of somewhat similar-ish to Wildwood. So what am I doing quest-wise? Okay, we're going back to Thornhead and talking to Eladon. I somehow completely lucked into just going to the Stable Master. I was almost on autopilot just traveling in. I just happened to pick a good area to go, basically.
What can I
Yeah,
do?
Scratch A Scroll 7, as Shiny Legion said, you can do Ear of the Wind, Shire, Breedlands, and Loonlands, and make sure you do all of the deeds there. And these are very bad pants. This is also a pretty bad two-handed hammer, I can't even use that. And the shield is a Warden shield, but I am not a Warden on this character. I'll go ahead and take that anyway. Alright, what am I doing? New quest. This one is all the way in Rivendell. Talk to Glorfindel there. I think the only thing about that with this character, I can't actually take the Stable Master, so that will be the easy way to get there. I was trying to think of all the ways I can get there, and there is a Stable Master right here, and that's super easy. Iceblood Wildwood will be new in Update 29. It is the title of Update 29, and it will be a new area in Breeland in Update 29, which is not released yet. It's in the 3rd beta round right now. So I am hoping that it is next week, and at first, like a couple weeks ago, I heard that it would be, or was like tentatively planned for the 2nd week of March. Unfortunately, it does not look like that will be happening because we're in the 2nd week of March right now. But it sounds like they were hinting at it being released along with the Spring Festival, which as far as I know would be next week. I actually should check the exact release date of the Spring Festival. It could be Thursday next week. I don't know why I'm thinking, but that is what I am thinking. And if it were the exact same day, that is when I would expect Wildwood to potentially be released. Let's see, I need to go to Glorfindel, who is over on this side. Rivendel's pretty nice at this time of night. I guess it's probably late watches. I was thinking more midnighty, but basically dark outside, nighttime. There's a little bit of a light bloom, it seems like. Nothing overpowering like you might see in Forest Hill, but there's a nice little light bloom. So Glorfindel's Company, that is the quest I abandoned earlier. So I need to go to the Ford of Bruin, and this is going to be a bit of a travel. I'll do my camp here. Okay, how'd I clear my... Whoa. Okay, hopefully that's better. My voice was getting a little bit raspy. I think it is getting to be warmer weather, and yeah, basically having, I don't know if it's allergy issues, but just a little bit of sinusy gooky, as gross as that is. It's not really a great thing for me when doing videos or streaming, just because my voice could be way off or get raspy there, or if my nose is stuffed, then I can even tell how weird it sounds sometimes editing videos when my nose is stuffed. As far as Wildwood goes, though, it is going to be a quest pack, and I don't know if it'll be like the price of a full regular quest pack. I don't even know what the price of a regular quest pack is, like 19.95 points or 24.95 or something like that would be my guess. But I don't know with Wildwood how it will compare to other quest packs. The only reason I say that is because it is a part of Breeland, and I don't want to say it seems like a very small or minor update because it is a major update, but just because it is an area inside a zone already, it seems like, oh, we can't click there, so as if I was on the beta and able to click there, but I almost would think it could be cheaper just because it seems like it's relatively small compared to a complete large new zone, basically. Guess I don't need any of these mobs. I was actually forgot to check that I could be killing things on the way just for deeds or quests or things like that, but looks like nothing here. I think my best course of action is to fall. Oh, I was trying to find a good spot. I was thinking over here. This might work out. At least I didn't die. I wonder if this quest will have me do, the book quest will have me do the Fort of Bruin and Skirmish. Of course this wants me to go back to Lord Glorfindel. And I think the best way there will be to use my port to Bree, even though I'm already in the zone I need to be. We have to do the nice navigation of the Hunter. I'll use my port to Bree, then swift travel to South Bree, then swift travel to Rivendell. Of course, if swift traveling were not an option, then this probably would be slower. I could also be more immersive and actually travel by foot or by horse there, but at this point, I am just really trying to get the quest done. Can I not swift travel there? My level is too low. Uh-oh. I guess I need to be one level higher. Okay, we're going back to my camp then? That was a little bit of a waste of time, but this is my other option. I can just go back to my camp and travel up that little route there. It's always good to have a backup plan like that. So I guess you cannot swift travel from South Bree to Rivendell, I would guess, until level 40. That really is unfortunate. I don't think I can get enough of these Bog Guardians up here. I was thinking about killing that and starting that quest like all the other ones, but I did not actually even know there were Bog Guardians up on this part. I thought they were all down in the swampy area of the Fort of Bruin in there. This character's traits. Oh yeah, we already did that earlier. I was going to remind myself of what's going on with them. I'm having a little bit of chugginess here, so I don't think actually... This is something I always do with LOTRO, is I increase the CPU priority with the task manager. I set it to the highest one, which is real time, and that usually helps my performance a little bit, especially if I have other things going on, such as OBS with streaming and Chrome up with. And Chrome can take a ton of my CPU randomly, but having that up to actually have the playback of the stream in the chat. Don't think that's going to do anything. So there used to be a keybind for the lantern. Don't think Alt F9 is going to be it either. Yeah, Alt F9, I somehow have that set to whatever NVIDIA's recording thing is. I forget what it's called, but that is the keybind I have for that. I need to just turn it off since I never use it. But anyway, there used to be an option to turn on the player lantern, but for some reason they got rid of that a few years ago, I think, or a couple of years ago even. I don't remember exactly when. And it was a nice thing you could turn on whenever it was nighttime, or in Moria you could have a little player lantern just to light stuff up, and I like to have it on. Even sometimes today I just like forget it's a thing and use my keybind. I think it used to be Alt F10. But unfortunately, they seem to have gotten rid of it for some reason. I really honestly don't know why. I don't think it was anything that was ever in the options panel or in the quick slot even. But it was a really nice feature, I thought. It's actually neat coming here compared to when we did just a few moments ago. It already seems lighter or a little bit different. Maybe I'm just misremembering. These lights seem nice and bright, but that could just be the contrast of where I just was in the dark area of Trollshaws. So coming here, it actually seems brighter even if it isn't. Alright, headed back to Eladon now, and I think my best course of action here will be just going to the Stable Master here in Rivendell. There's a lot of back and forth with the book quests. I remember Eriador being largely like this, and I think that's why I usually would skip the book quests. Or also one of the things I guess with the book quests is, as somebody that didn't know basically anything going on in LOTRO and didn't even know Lord of the Rings that well when I first started the game, I just didn't know like that the book quests were kind of a main thing that you were you didn't have to do, but it was almost like you were supposed to do them. I had no idea that that was really a thing when I started LOTRO, so I never really did them on a lot of my old characters. And even then, a lot of the book quests seem a bit out of the way. Like just kind of randomly starting book 4 here. I think I had to talk to Elrond, I think, if I remember correctly, in the last homely house there. And just to compare what I would do on some of my old characters maybe is go through Trollshaws enough to get enough XP basically to move on to the next zone and then just kind of quit the questing there. Wasn't always the case. Sometimes I would do more complete zone playthroughs, I guess, but I just had a very different playstyle back in the day basically where I do a little bit different. And yeah, Brian, I think like the entire second half of Volume 1, that is one I have also not done in a while. And things are going well after I had a bunch of audio issues before I started the stream. Everything seems to be fine after I started the stream. And yeah, I am almost level 40. I feel like this character I've been more concerned with my level than any other character recently. There is also with my webcam, first of all, my face looks really red. But just because it is dark in-game and my main light source actually seems to be my monitor at the moment, which probably isn't a good thing. My face is really dark. So the book quest, we have hiding, we need to find 3 areas. So that'll probably be the time I should go to North Trollshaws, I would guess. Let's do the one to the east here. And yeah, really, just to say I'm only doing the book quests here. Iceblood, my stream has not been going on long. It just started, wow, okay, it actually has been going on a decent amount. I think it started a little under 40 minutes ago. For some reason, I feel like I've only been going like 20 minutes, to be honest. But yeah, the reason I'm mainly doing the book quest here is just because it has been so long since I've done it. If I even did it, I don't even know if I gotten up to this point before because I didn't really recognize that area there in South Trollshaws. Just because, again, I have skipped a lot of this stuff way back in the past. You all can see the webcam actually gets a lot brighter when the monitor here. When I have the map open, just because the monitor is a big light source. And it's mainly because my main light is back to the left, so it's behind, not behind, it is in front of the camera a little bit and behind me, so it doesn't really light my face up. And that is actually one concern. So to talk a little bit about my setup here, I mentioned I need to find the deepest chamber of this cave. And it looks like there are 2 other caves there, maybe? Okay, this actually sounds pretty fun to me. A lot of exploration, not too much as far as doing stuff. See, this seems like the type of quest that is Fellowship. Oh, using the Shimmering Elfstone allows you to access... Okay, there we go. I was wondering if it would actually have this. I didn't even pay attention. And Ivan, first, you said level is all you care about in LOTRO. That is, yeah, definitely more what I used to be like, I think. But as far as members go, you might be excited to know we are actually quite a bit above 17 and above 18 now. Let me check again. I have so many that I have lost count, which is definitely not a bad thing. We are at 21 members on my channel. We had 2 new people join since my last stream. It was Aaron Rand and Robin Wendell. Okay, what am I doing? Just finding the deepest chamber? That sounds good. There's the inspiration buff. I didn't even know there was like a animation type thing for that. My head is all glowy. I have so much inspiration that my head is glowing and I'm way more powerful. Really gives you a sense of being OP for your level. See, I feel like it would actually be a fun challenge to do this quest without the inspiration buff while solo. It is something I think they might be experimenting with things like that. But the problem is, if I just decided to do that, it wouldn't really be too rewarding for my experience. And while it might be fun for the challenge, it would take a while, I think, definitely to get through this. But yeah, there's just not much actually motivating me outside of the potential fun, if I can get my word straight there. And yes, we have over 20 members. We have 21 members. I don't know what happened there, but my character seemed to got weak, but that's probably because my gameplay is very weak right now, as in I am not doing that great. I wasn't really paying attention with that sequence of combat there, though. Or whatever. Here, found, okay. Let's use... Where is... Oh, it has the other quest item. So I have 2 quest items, but it's showing the elf stone for that. But it remains dark. Oh no, do I have to find this place again? Okay, let's keep going and see when it actually says I can go there. It already says, it said it twice, but I don't remember where that happened. Is it right here? Or did it already work? Maybe I already got it because this is Nurath and I didn't even have to use the item, I don't think. Or did I use the item and that is what counted? Using that has no effect, okay. So we will just move on from here then. Oh, so Brian, you were kind of like me, it sounds like, with your minstrel. He's level 130 and you have to backtrack to finish reputations because, oh yeah, there are crafting recipes, that is a big one. And also some pets it sounds like you didn't get. And Ivan, I feel like you've congratulated me already for 20 members. Enough. I do have some other things of interest. So I did the poll for what to put on my wall there. And I just mentioned the potential problem with the green screen is the lighting. And one general problem with the way my room here is and all the stuff with it, just basically my setup, is it wouldn't really be feasible to upgrade my lighting to a point where a green screen would actually work. And I really did, when I was first thinking, or even first researching webcam and facecam setups with a webcam, I thought about doing a green screen. I have that shelf to my back right, which would be like a tiny bit of a problem, but I could just move a little bit, I think. The desk is pretty tightly fit where it is right now, though, but basically... yeah, here I can get off my mount and kill some mobs. I was wondering if I still had the inspiration buff just because I did so much damage on that hit there, but it was just my natural hunter ability, I guess, on this character. I really feel the progress on this character. I started him at level 30 actually in the stream, 31 I think in Trollshaws. I can't believe just in 2 streams, really, how much progress I made on this character. We're a little bit into the 3rd stream, but I honestly have not made that much progress today as far as XP and levels go. I started at the very beginning of 39, and I am going pretty slowly overall with the quests, I would say. But for the backdrop, so I don't just have like a plain white wall there, it sounds like the Middle Earth / LOTRO type map won the poll. And that's kind of what I was thinking. Since I don't really think I can feasibly do a green screen, I think that could potentially work the best, and it matches my interests. I like maps. The main concern right now is exactly what map I would want to use, and if I would do like a custom one, like an actual LOTRO map. There are a couple resources I have to potentially do that. I would have to find a place to print that, and I'd have to find what I want it printed on. So I don't know if anybody here actually is has any experience basically with printing things basically for stream backdrops or something like that. But I was actually thinking a tapestry type print could be pretty neat to go back there and basically cover up the whole wall that's visible, except for where the shelf and side desk area is. I am pretty sure I hit this bat, but he did not take any damage. Look, I did 784 damage to him, and he still has all 747 of his. I, like, should have one-shotted him as far as I know. And what is this buff I have? Inspired, so I'm still inspired? Okay. There we go, the second attack worked. Oh, there's a little troll area here? I wonder if I knew that. Okay, this actually is that camp. This is Thunder in Hills. I will go ahead and do that. I know I will need Troll Deed Slayer progress here, and this will help with that. Yeah, Brian, I think that is what I am tentatively planning on doing. But the other option is there are some non-LOTRO specific Middle-earth maps that are like already made, and I just don't really know what type of print to get basically. That is the... what does this guy say? Oh, Troll Slayer. Well, might as well kill him since I took all that time to look what he gave me. Yes, this is called Trollshaws. I somehow, I don't know, forget that connection, I guess. Basically, it's called Trollshaws and forget that there's troll in the name of Trollshaws. Very pretty here with just the orange trees. Of course, this character, his outfit, somehow is made perfectly. It was supposed to be a Wildwood outfit that just happened to work for Trollshaws, but I feel like it's a Trollshaws outfit that might work for Wildwood. And I do have, my Runekeeper is upgraded, I guess, on its crafting enough that I do have, wonder which way I should head up. I'll try this way first. I basically will be crafting another cosmetic set for this character, so I will have another option when it comes to Wildwood if... oh, I do need boars. Again, that is the exact situation where I could have just killed him instead of taking all that time to check. Pretty sure I also need the cave claws. I can only imagine with how strong my character is right now, if I actually had good gear on him. I do have... so the level 18 gear, of course, is not that great for a level 39, but the level 18 crafted gear is surprisingly powerful, where I don't think it's like super duper bad gear even, compared to if I just used quest gear, for example. I think it's somehow still better than that, which I guess is obviously true because I haven't equipped hardly any quest gear except I think some jewelry. So I've been used to call it Trollshaws instead of Trollshaws. I would guess it's supposed to be Trollshaws just because that's the way I say it, but there's a potential it could be Trollshaws. That totally doesn't sound right though. I assume Shaws is something. It's like a... whatever that's called, conjunction or something of those two words. I'm actually curious if Shaws means anything. The part of a potato plant that appears above the ground? Okay, that actually sounds... I was thinking something plant or tree related. I wonder if a lot of these are supposed to be like actual Shaws, or what is going on with that. Error 36, you were wondering that skill that almost one-shots everything. It is probably Barrage. That is, if you play a Blue Line Hunter, that is a very strong skill. There is also Blood Arrow, which sometimes gets really big crits that can be one-shotting these mobs. Even Penetrating Shot, everything is just so strong if it crits. If the things don't crit, then Barrage is probably the strongest. Okay, so We have our first elite mob. While I'm not inspired. Even killing an elite like that. Wow. I guess it's been so long since I've played a low-level hunter like this, I can actually see the power out of them and the damage. I feel like in a fight like that, compared to the Beorning, the hunter is actually more DPS. And I say that just because I know the Beorning has a lot of DPS at low levels, but it's kind of close. Depending on the cooldowns I use on the Beorning, I think I can kill elites faster at this level specifically, or I could when I went through Trollshaws on him, but pretty close overall, and maybe outside of that burst that the Beorning has, probably not as good. So I know I'm selling to clean up my inventory, but I should actually do this a little bit more better. Okay, so now I can just sell all. Actually, I saw a piece of armor. I don't know if I want it. Elven padded jacket of vigor. I do not want that. So I don't even know. I need to track the book quest again. I got done with so many of these quests that the book quest got untracked. My quest tracker is full. Okay, there we go. Hello, Patrick. Oh, is he going to burrow? That is the most annoying things with mobs. At least they can still take damage over time, which also seems surprisingly strong. Wonder it has one tick left. It does look like it killed him. Okay, so as far as the book quests go, I am not nearly where I need to be. Still need to go a little bit. I don't think these mobs, they don't count for any deeds. The troll does, so I can definitely get him. This part of Hunter, once you have Barrage on its long cooldown and you're building focus, at least with the blue line Hunter, it will be a little bit slower. So Ivan, I actually held back. I was going to try to say a little bit more better, but I held that back at the time. I just couldn't think of words. Sometimes it's a little bit weird, but sometimes when I'm streaming or even making videos, I just totally forget all my words. I like lose all my vocabulary skills basically sometimes. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I have ever been on this path actually. I feel like I probably have at some point. Wow, I'm perfectly on the Wormslayer advance. I just got my first kill for that deed. I think this goes back south and would loop up to Nan Tornath maybe? Oh yeah, Shiny Legions, if LOTRO let you track more than 5 quests, that would be amazing. Okay, so headed back down this way, and I guess I will have to loop somewhere somehow. So here are worms. So we're out of the Fellowship area once again. We're kind of out of it with the, I guess, single worm I killed back there. Wow, these mobs die so much faster than the elites. There is a holly troll, wood troll. I call them holly trolls all the time just because that's what they are in Eregion, and I think that's the first time on one of my characters that I at least specifically remember, and here are all the trapdoor spiders. I think I have to discover some trapdoor related thing for one of my discovery deeds. And yeah, Ivan, I really do feel like sometimes I am basically I-word very good. Yeah, with the blue line, I think at higher level you can definitely lose focus. For me, sometimes I just lose focus on the gameplay, but the actual focus that the hunters have, you will be running out of that a lot. At low levels, because Penetrating Shot has the cooldown, I don't remember when you get improved Penetrating Shot without the cooldown, but while that has a cooldown, Sometimes on this character I can actually just float a lot of focus with everything that consumes focus on cooldown, so it's a little bit weird there. And I can use the elf stone to become OP. Oh, if I get to the right spot. Cannot do that. There we go. Maybe? Nope. Am I already inspired? Cannot invoke inspiration here. Cannot invoke. Strength. Here to draw. Exhaustion. Cannot receive the inspired effect. Oh, am I going too fast? I wonder if I was actually questing too fast that it just like, I can't be inspired again. They're making me go through this uninspired. That is no problem actually. So there's a cave in the Great River in the Brownlands that is actually pretty similar to this. I did not know this cave style was used in the lower level areas of LOTRO. Actually, I should be going through this in the yellow line, I think. If I'm actually going to go through this and pull 3 trolls like this, I think it'd be a little bit more efficient. Really is fun sometimes trying to maximize efficiency on a level 39 character. Okay, I need to use some sort of heal right now. And then Blood Arrow should heal me up. I guess I can use a potion. Also, these guys are ranged. That hurt a little bit, and they were slowing me. I could actually remove that wound. I feel like that was a little bit of a lesson how to not be good with a hunter when under stress as far as the gameplay goes. Hello, Salmon Fire. Okay, I will either try to avoid pulling a whole bunch of trolls or switch to the yellow line and do the champion strategy here with elite mobs. And I will have range traps now, so this will be a good area to test it right here. Takes a minute to use all that, but once it actually gets used, then I can be okay. Then hopefully the decoy will be exploding soon. I almost have to say I actually can't tell if this is faster. When I killed the 3 mobs earlier in the blue line, I almost can't even tell if this is faster with the yellow line just based on that one fight, just because I'm so active it seems like on the yellow line doing a lot of setup type stuff that it feels like the combat goes quicker, but that's probably because using that item. Oh, let's use this. And I really cannot let the single troll live. Hopefully the dots are actually strong enough I can just run away. Which he really didn't want me to run away. Okay, we're going back to blue line I think, but good experiment I think. Good time to experiment with the yellow line because I don't know if I will really have to use it, but there could be a couple good times to use it in the Giant Valley at least. I almost feel like the book quests here are going so slow though that I don't know if I ever will get to that. Okay, so oh, really need to clear the throat there, but maybe I should try to talk before I unmute to see if I need a cough again. But anyway, for the quest, I need to go west. That has a nice sword, as in it's nice because it's purple, plus it has +2 damage to troll kind. I feel like that would have been an exciting bonus back in the day. I don't know if it was or wasn't, but it just seems like something that would be more exciting back in the day compared to how it is now. The sword itself, though, I don't think will be an upgrade for me. There's a stable master here? I probably knew that, but I kind of forgot it. This quest is intended for a full fellowship. It is a repeatable quest. It doesn't even say it's intended for a fellowship. I forgot how many quests there were here. I thought there were a few, but I did not know this many, and there might even be some quests that are like chain a little bit. But I thought it would be good to go ahead and get those as I travel here. It looks like we have... Do I need these guys? Yes, I do need these guys for a quest. So I think I will switch back to the yellow line and do some yellow line stuff. It actually is odd. I feel like I compare this to the champion, but it's also the yellow line champion is the big AoE one. And we have that annoying one at ranged, but he's the one I can just focus on while my other stuff goes to work. I don't think all my other stuff is doing that good because these trolls are still alive. Okay, I don't know what happened compared to the earlier fight, but this one is not going as well for me. I definitely feel like this fight would have been better in the blue line. These stone trolls are significantly stronger. That is my conclusion. These ones are significantly stronger than the other ones that we were fighting. And I accidentally just pulled another one. Alright, I'm going to use my explosive decoy again. Probably should have just used that way long ago. Okay, going back to blue line. After that fight, I can't trust the yellow line. And Scratchy Scroll, you're wondering where you should farm as a level 26, and probably Lone Lands. That should have a lot of content for you if you're only level 26, and should have a lot of deeds. Especially if you get going into the Garth of Garwin area, I think. I don't know if there are a lot more deeds associated with Garth of Garwin, but that would give you LOTRO points, but that is an option. So Ivan, you asked what I think is holding LOTRO back from becoming a bigger game. I think one big thing is it's such an old game. There probably aren't that many people relative to other game types that like the older classic MMORPG gameplay. I hear a lot of people in comments of my videos even that just say the gameplay feels so old and they just don't like it. Also, people don't like the graphics. Even if I don't mind the graphics, I actually think they even look nice. A lot of people don't think they look good, and there are some odd things with the LOTRO graphics, especially if you look way far off in the distance. The textures get a little bit wonky in the landscapes. The landscape design, I think, is really great, but certain graphic settings that technically improve the look or higher graphic settings, I think they actually make some things look worse. And just to go over what I'm talking about, I don't know if we'll really be able to see it here. Maybe if I hold the camera like that. There is one particular setting, DX10 Distant Landscape Lighting. Yeah, I don't think that's really showing anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that can make distant landscapes look worse to me. It adds a little bit of kind of detail in a way, but overall I don't like the look of it as much. But I don't know, that's just a random thing with the graphics. Let's try to use this, even though I think I have 7 seconds left on this. I think I can manage to wait. And I have a bow in my inventory that I looted, but it is not all that good. I actually would want to wear these boots if they weren't heavy armor. Again, this character I'll probably craft myself some stuff. Wow, Brian, you said this has pretty much become your dad's MMO. That makes me feel old, even though I'm not quite that old, but I feel like I'm dad age. But yeah, how old is LOTRO? It's approaching 14 years. I think it'll be the 14th anniversary this year, if I'm not mistaken. So that is pretty old. So what am I doing? Oh yeah, I need to use this thing again. Alright, this cannot invoke inspiration here. Oh no. Well. I have the... You are inspired. It allows me to receive gifts, but I'm not actually receiving those. So Ivan, you find the questing boring. you don't really know why you're doing something, and you could read the quests, but you think having narration would help people. That might help people, but if there was narration, I probably wouldn't like that, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Now I got my buffs. I was wondering what did so much damage to me, but I actually became inspired, so my morale dropped. My percent morale compared to my max morale. Of course, it just has to regenerate, which I probably also have some sort of regeneration going on here. This cave seems a little bit more complex. I think I need to go up this way, though. The nice thing about that buff is I really do feel like I can just run through here and not really care too much all what I'm doing. Alright, I'm guessing this is going to be the deepest part, and I can maybe use the barrel. It'll actually... okay, let me use it briefly while in combat, but it got interrupted. A lot of these trolls have small morale amounts. Like this guy should just take a quick shot there. Even that one, he has 99 health. Somehow I never pulled that one in the corner. I thought he was pulled the whole time. Okay, now let's use the barrel and see where the quest will take me next. And it is ready to turn in at Eladon, but I think we'll take a break from that and do some of the group quests now. And Nathan Philip Connors, you're saying DDO is doing the 15th anniversary right now. That's probably exciting for that game. Unfortunately, I tried it. I don't think the gameplay quite worked all that well for me. Just because we did not go this way. There's some weird... I think it's supposed to be a reflection. I don't know if y'all can see that with the video, but there's a slight bit of lighting. It could even be the lighting in the game, but it almost looks like a reflection, as if this is some sort of polished type rock. Let's see. So Ivan, you're saying maybe the narration based around the story they could do? Yeah, I think that could draw more people in. I'm really not too familiar with Star Wars The Old Republic, but I think that game might do something like that. I don't know if it's a feature that people like with that or not. There is some, not really narration in the game where you hear the audio, if that's what you're talking about, them actually saying what's going on, but there's a lot of story content that is basically just story and not really doing anything. And particularly, I'm thinking like Westerohan with all the meat halls. I'm sitting there in these like solo instances, and then NPCs are going on about their conversations or whatever, and that gives a little bit of a sense of story, but it's not really narrated. In reality, for me, it feels like you're just sitting there while they're talking. And it's kind of hard for me to get immersed in that environment with exactly what's going on. Sometimes a quest will have my interest enough, though. I guess it has to be a really interesting topic or whatever they're doing. So Brian, you're saying most MMOs at the time were engaged in the kill 10 rats model of gameplay. And that sounds kind of like defeat 8 stone trolls, defeat 6 Huorns, defeat 8 bog lurkers, defeat 6 cave claws. That is all I am doing here. That's basically what Trollshaws really feels like, is defeating things. There's a little bit of a path and some more story content as you go through different areas, but a lot of it is really just defeat things. And it makes it enjoyable to me. Just as I'm going through it, I have to kill all these things. Sometimes I'm at least getting like warmth for blankets or something like that. I don't remember if that's a quest in Trollshaws, but that is a quest somewhere. And even the Trollshaws, it had one of the storylines as far as a quest that had me most interested in the content. It was the one where we were doing some toad's stew and gathered all the ingredients for that, but then the elf, or not the elf, but the man race of man character, NPC, I should say. He had me get a special ingredient to really spice it up and make it better, which was crawler mush. Turned to be crawler mush. It was a bunch of gross crawler stuff that was mushified. Let's see, I need to go north. This is a very easy area for me to get lost. One, just because I haven't been here, but I think it's the terrain a little bit. And also, even all the trees and just the navigating here takes a moment. But...
Greetings to you.
Yeah, just that storyline had me so interested just because it was different and unique, I guess. So Ivan, you said you can be put in a ring with a boss and you'll play for hours. Yeah, I think that could be fun. A little bit of challenging or interesting stuff like that could be good. And I also agree, leveling is kind of fun like that. I don't think here I'm really killing bosses. These are mainly elites. It's a little bit more of a challenge, but honestly, I would definitely not consider this challenging content, even though they're full fellowship quests, kind of fellowship in air quotes, because they're labeled as fellowship, but this is manageable solo. I almost feel like the actual difficulty in the game should be updated to maybe duo. Could be considered small fellowship just to be on the safe side, to make people not feel bad if they can't do them duo. I kind of wonder landscape difficulty though, if it's designed... These quests, I should say these quests particular that I'm doing for people that might be less familiar with what is going on, these are labeled as fellowship, which would mean they're intended for 6 people to do. They are a little bit lower level than me, but back in the day, this type of stuff was way more difficult. I don't know way back in the day if this was actually fellowship difficulty, like if you needed a full fellowship to kill the elites here, but it was definitely more difficult. I remember trying to kill an elite way back when I started, which was towards the end of Siege of Mirkwood, and I don't know if difficulty like landscape was ever nerfed or adjusted to be less difficult then, but even at that point, killing an elite like this would be quite a task as far as I remember. Definitely some of that in part could be due to me being a noob, but just for example, on my Runekeeper, since he's the one that got to Amoria first, I thought it was a huge triumph when I was able to kill elites in Moria, whether they were needed for a quest or just passing by. But yeah, some of my earliest memories of LOTRO, as far as my biggest achievements in LOTRO, they were killing elites on landscape, and that is definitely not the case anymore. So as far as thinking about the difficulty of the game, one thing to consider as I'm running through this is I'm pretty familiar with the way the hunter works and just the way the game plays and all that, but for somebody that might be entering this new, they might not have quite as easy of a time as I am going through this. So if I consider the difficulty to actually be, say, solo, for example, with this quest, just a little bit of a tougher solo quest, that might not be the experience for everyone, and it just could be labeled. That's why I was thinking small fellowship to be on the safe side, especially if you get 2 elites here. That, again, is a fairly easy thing, and I would think with any class setup that 2 people should be able to handle 2 elites like this, but if they have very bad equipment, like just quest equipment and random stuff, and aren't that familiar with their class or how to play them, or have bad trait setups or anything like that, basically, it could be more difficult. I don't really know the whole point of that, but that was just about the quest difficulty and how it's labeled, really, in game. That is a very nice pocket item. Wow. I did not know these random pocket items could be this good. I wonder when they updated them. Seem to update old gear very frequently in this game. That is like a ton of physical mitigation on this one too. And if this character, if I was not interested in the plus 25% XP, that would... I'm actually curious. I want to see how much physical mastery that gains me. I'm at 77% right now. That gets me all the way up to 88.7%. That's over 10% more physical mastery and a even bigger increase in the physical mastery. Somewhere maybe closer to like 15% more. So Ivan, one thing you mentioned, I could take my equipment off, and I could do that, but I don't know, whenever I am playing a game such as LOTRO, such as what I'm doing right now, I just with what I have, I always try to use the best. I try to outfit my character the best, and sometimes that does reduce the difficulty of the content, but I just never feel actually motivated or rewarded for doing something more challenging like that. At that point, it would feel like kind of pointless challenge, if that makes sense, or pointless slowness, as far as just going through this. So it sounds like for these elites, even for this quest, you did need a full fellowship. Yeah, that is definitely a different experience than now. I remember one of the biggest challenges I ran into early on was, well, I kind of remember Nan Wathrin. That was so long ago, though. I don't remember if I just skipped it or did find people to do it. So my Runekeeper ran into the, I think it's Bloodwing is his name, the Elite Drake quest or Elite Master or something. I think that was one of the most difficult, kind of low level, that was beginning in the big fellowship areas in Ingmar. Later on in Ingmar, at least. What is that one? Oh, that's just a regular trapdoor spider. It almost looked a little bit different, just the colors, that I thought it could be a rare NPC or something, but not the case. When anything's color is off, this is true in WoW and LOTRO, when any mob's color is off a little bit, I always think it might be a rare mob just because things like that. I'm probably cashing out. One thing to consider with my gameplay is I'm probably cashing out the barbed arrow damage too soon. If I want to actually maximize what I get out of that, I should wait to use Scourging Blow until like as late as possible, basically. I want to just kill that mob, so I totally didn't get any cash out from that. Even this one, that is a Spider Queen, but I saw it was bigger. I thought that might be an Elite Master or something at least. And the problem when I don't use Scourging Blows, I use my other stuff, then the mobs are just dying now. I got a 4K Devastate. That might be my highest now. Okay, this part, I could definitely see this being more difficult again. I think this could warrant small fellowship difficulty. Should probably remove my poisons. It's really odd, but I do find it fun to try to optimize my gameplay experience, even when I am level 39 here. Just thinking earlier when I used Blindside, I probably should have used Low Cut and then used Blindside to cancel that animation. Get basically two things at once. I'm actually running out of power. This is the first time on this character. I haven't quite run out of power, but I'm getting close to running out of power. That's the first time I think on this character I've gotten to that issue. So Ivan, I actually feel like with the lighting and overall atmosphere, LOTRO does a very good job already. That's one of the things I have a lot of praise on the game for, even if the graphics themselves might not quite be the best. I feel like they do a great job with the atmosphere and with the environments, and even with the lighting. There are some things that I guess just technical, graphical improvements that could be made with that. Alright, what am I doing as far as the quests go? Fighting the Brood. Yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of that. It seems accurate that I would be done with that quest not even knowing what it required. Did I? Oh, I guess I sometimes hit R on accident, and I was like, I saw the tells tab. I didn't know if somebody sent me a tell, but apparently I tried to press R and that's what went on there. So Finn Consulman, you were wondering my thoughts on the Araya of the Valor. I don't think it is necessarily a bad thing. There are actually a couple frustrating things about it. Mainly because of how efficient it is, and it's more about the other things. The individual parts of the Araya of the Valor, if you try to buy them, for example, on LOTRO store, or I guess that would be the only place. So there are things like the trait points and a ton of virtue XP in the Araya of the Valor. There's also the imbued allies. Some of them aren't that good or have bad legacies or whatever, or aren't optimized for some things your character might want to do, so you have to change those out. But you even get imbued legacy replacement scrolls. You get very strong gear for level 120. You get basically level 130 level gear. Actually, I shouldn't say basically level 130 item level gear, but you get very strong gear for level 120 that is Mordor besieged efficient. And some of that's not even replaced by doing quests above level 120. The main thing I really like about the Valor is the trait points. And basically you have everything to make you end game ready. That is a big draw of it. It is a little bit expensive, but there's so many things. If you're leveling a new character and want to get it to end game, you have to grind for while leveling, basically. So there's a lot of nice stuff there. And I like it all with the Valor, but I feel like it shouldn't even be a thing that it's all needed in a Valor to begin with. Like, I feel like a level boost like that, personally, I think it should just have the level boost, but with the way things are in LOTRO, it is good that it has all the stuff that it comes with. It is basically more of a problem of all the other systems, I think, if any of that makes sense. Because if you all watched my endgame in LOTRO video from a long time ago, which I am slowly planning to actually get back to that and doing all these additional parts that I talked about in that, but I'm not really a fan of the way you get trait points and having to do the quest for it. Even the virtues, it's a little bit of a fun system with the deeds, but I almost feel like they're in a way too impactful and too grindy. And then even the imbued LIs, that is a whole other grind. There are just so many things with grinding. Oh no, Wizco. Oh, I'm going to take a minute to make sure I say this right. So you want me to say Nevada. That still, I don't think that quite came out right. Nevada. No, that was a little bit stressed on the O at the end. Nevada? There. Took me 3 tries, but I think I said it right. I think I'm running out of power again. Somebody mentioned endurance stance, and there's actually a little bit of a funny thing with that. Quick shot returns morale. 200 morale? Wow, that is an insane heal. I did not know it healed that much. Is that a full buff? Yep. So I think people used to use endurance stance. I didn't play Hunter way back in the day, but from what I heard, people used to use endurance stance for power. Basically, you would be in your strong stance, which, as far as I know back in the day, was probably strength, but I really don't know. And you would use that until you run out of power and then conserve power with endurance or something like that. But it seems like endurance... Like, I cast quick shot this quickly. It'll heal me. Supposedly heal me. Oh, I'm not in endurance stance, that would explain it. Like... I honestly did not know that hunters were this OP healers. This is insane. This might rival the Warden with the self-healing. Okay, that is really crazy. I'm glad somebody mentioned, I don't even know if that's what they mentioned with endurance shot. I just remember somebody mentioning that earlier, so I thought I'd look at it. Who was it that said that? So it was Gurgyug? I have no idea. on your name if that's how you say it, but I'll call you Gerg for now if that's okay. But you said Brawler would sound fun as well. To me, the Brawler actually doesn't sound all that exciting, but we'll have to actually see how the gameplay and all that works. I don't want to say, just based off the name, that it's not something I would be interested in, but in general, I would say that's the type of class. A Brawler type class is something I might not be too interested in. So, Bryce, you're wondering about the Valor, if somebody who wants to get to endgame, they haven't played through the game previously, if you should use that. So there are two thoughts I have on that. One is yes, one is no. If you are only interested in endgame content and raiding and something like that, then I could say yes, but there is a lot with LOTRO that would make that a little bit of a no. So Axel Evernight, you said the grinding was bad a few years ago, and now it's just been refined and intensified. It kind of feels like that. The new Valor system is... Wow, that guy died very quickly in that combination of 3 skills, but the new Valor... What am I talking about? Virtue, that's what it is. The new... Oh, these are signatures. Maybe that's why they're dying real quick. The new Virtue system, anyway. There are some things to like about it, but I think it's overall more grindy. And from what I've heard, for basically tier 3 plus content, which with all the other grinds in LOTRO, I just have not been able to get interested at all in trying to farm higher difficulty tiers. It's almost like with Mythic Plus and WoW, I just cannot enjoy that type of gameplay or progression, or just like repeating this stuff for higher difficulty. It could be a little bit fun, even doing something like tier 2. With the way it is with a lot of old content, I think can be fun. But basically, this isn't really a bad thing, but we just had somebody leave the kinship. Maybe they were doing some ults or something like that, leaving them. I don't know what was going on with that. I don't even know who's on in the kin. Looks like one other person. What am I doing with the quests? I see all these that count for deeds, which I want to do the deeds, so I might as well kill them. Plus their signatures. I mean, the signatures die that quick. And Wizco, you were wondering my favorite song / band. That is tough, because as far as music goes, I listen to... Basically, what would be my favorite song or favorite band could change by the day or by the week, just depending on what I am in the mood for. But as far as long-term, favorite band would probably be Rush. Even though I actually have not listened to them all too much lately, but they were the first band I really took a liking to. And I even thank you for joining the stream and, of course, being a member and all the support you do. So I hope you have a good night as well. Oh yeah, Brian, there is a meta deed for everything. I feel like meta deeds are good in a way for people who want to do that completionist aspect. It's something like nice, because say you completed 5 Slayer deeds, well now you have a deed to complete those 5 Slayer deeds. It's just like a nice thing like that, but there is the grind associated with it. Like, you really want to do that for Virtue XP as far as the grinding goes. I think I need these little bog guardian things. I honestly don't know if anybody knows these mobs. This one does call them bog lurkers. But if this type of mob is actually called something other than a bog lurker, somebody could let me know. This actually... I don't want to say this is exactly like Wildwood, because Wildwood is surprisingly unique for being a hilly forest in LOTRO, but this really reminds me of what I have seen from the Wildwood region, just going through it in the beta. The lake looks a little bit similar to some of the little ponds, and just the trees. I don't think there are quite as many orange or yellow trees in Wildwood, but it's kind of surprisingly reminding me of it. Peat Creeper. That is an interesting name. let's see, I thought I missed something. It was Finn asking what I think would be a fun class to try out. So, if you are wondering what the class is in LOTRO, I would have to know maybe what you are first interested in and what classes you have or have not played. I have to always recommend maybe the Warden. Just because it is my favorite class, so I can't not recommend it, at least as far as being a fun class. Well, it's a fun class. If you're just looking for a class to try out, it could be a little bit tough to get into. It is more of a long-term type of class that you would hopefully play for a while and find fun. I guess you could try it out and see if you like the gambit system, and then I would inform you if it is a class. Wow, that was... So this was actually one of those exact situations where I was like, okay, I'm going to use Barbed Arrow, then Scourging Blow, that combination. But it's probably actually something I should have waited to use Scourging Blow, but it killed the mob. I guess when you get a couple crits like that and the cash out, like that did 2,700 damage just 2 of those hits. That's crazy. Okay, so Finn, you've played most classes to level 40. Yeah, with the Warden, again, I would still perhaps recommend that one. Runekeeper is also fun. I really like the Redline Guardian as far as just leveling goes. It's not really something you can compete compared to other DPSs and thinking like just one-shot that signature with Barrage. I think it was, yeah, Barrage tier 3. And I really feel like just crafting this character, going on my other characters and crafting this guy a level 40 bow and level 40 armor, and seeing if I can one-shot one of these elites with Barrage tier 3. Not Barrage, Barrage tier 3. So this is something... Wow, it took me way too long to make this connection. I saw these guys counted for the Troll Slayer deeds. I know they're trolls, but this zone is called the Trollshaws. These mobs are called wood trolls, but they are trolls. And I think they also fit the theme of this being Trollshaws. And I am 99% sure I have never been here before. This looks like... Are these supposed to be leaves? Like kind of piney leaves? Does this go to anywhere? No? There's the sun somehow. I was thinking maybe this is supposed to be like a path to the Ettenmoors. It almost feels like that. I don't see on the maps anywhere how this would be a path to the Ettenmoors, but that's what it felt like, just going here. It really doesn't look like that looking on the mini-map. I wonder if there was something intended to be here or what was going on with this. Hunter is good as a first class, as you all probably see here. The high damage, and also in the stream we've used a lot of the ports, even the camp fire travel. All of that is going to be very good. It might spoil a little bit actually new players, because then they'll get maybe a little bit too used to the convenience of the travel on the Hunter and even the damage. Okay, so the last chapter of book 4 takes me. Alright, I really did not recognize that area. I really did. It just seemed like if there were something to connect Ettenmoors to the rest of the world somehow, it felt like it would be an area like that. I do wonder if there are things... yeah, Diego, I am still with the pillowcase chair. It is better than the bedsheet, I think. But... yeah, I have not found anything basically to do something other than that back there. Oh, these are only signatures. I thought I was trying to make things interesting, but These are not elites like I had hoped. I don't know why I would have hoped that, but just not paying too much attention. This is a nice view. There are a lot of areas in Trollshaws where I just don't think they're quite the best for screenshots. Even though they're very pretty, it's one of those zones I feel like is very pretty to go exploring on your own or in the game actually. Maybe even in videos it can look like a neat area, but as far as screenshots go, I don't even know what I did to him, but he used 2 skills and he was dead. Didn't see the damage numbers. I am a person that's very interested in the numbers that go above enemies' heads. I'm going to be killing a ton of trolls later. I really don't need to kill all of these. I'm just like... I feel like I have a vendetta against these wood trolls right now. Because I will be killing a ton of trolls, I think. I don't know if I'll kill 60. Wait, giants. Oh, maybe I am mistaken. I was thinking there were a lot of trolls in Giant Valley. There might be some trolls, but it is giants. I just totally got mixed up on that. So as far as the deed goes, it might still be useful, especially considering I need 60 more. If there are actually 60 trolls in Giant Valley that I kill, that will be a lot there. So I don't feel as bad. I don't feel like I'm quite wasting time too much. And as Matthew Wallace said, for class recommendations, the captain is fun. It can be a little bit odd. Did I get a 5k crit there now? No, that was 551. This guy has some sort of buff and just said something about bark, I think. Okay, still do actually need the Huorns. And I need 3 more bog lurkers. And I will check my quest progress after I get maybe the Huorns. Oh, I actually did just finish the Huorns. Bog lurkers, I need 3 more, which I believe are also in this general broad area here. Ooh, I very rarely get to use Merciful Shot, it seems like. Usually just don't have enough focus, and also the mob health is usually too high. Okay, so quests, bog lurkers are in this area, and I somehow got stunned by something that was actually a bog lurker. Perfect. I feel like just going back to the pillowcase over the back of my chair, that is something that is a great example of me being a comfort over looks, I guess, type person as far as things like that go. Kind of like how my whole desk and stream and video and all that sort of setup is very much so based on functionality. Let's see, based on functionality rather than the visual appeal. Not that I think it really looks bad, but that is just generally how I have my stuff set up, kind of like with that type of stuff in mind. So as far as the fellowship quests go, I got 4 of them, and I have 1 more to do, and I might as well kill some wood trolls on the way back. And I'm guessing I aggroed that Huorn, and he did not have, even though I used Scourging Blow, he did not have the debuff I would have wanted him to have. Well, maybe. I keep getting too far away to actually use that. And Blindside is such a strong skill compared to what it used to be. I don't remember, it's like update 27.2 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but that is when they updated all the classes to have an immediate interrupt. And I feel like the Hunter is one of the classes that very much so benefited from that, because Blindside became a ranged skill, so you don't have to be in melee, and it became immediate, so you can use it to animation cancel, and it builds 3 focus. So what I do a lot, even though it's not optimal as far as the animation canceling goes, is you'll see me use like barrage, and then that I just use it after my first skill, build focus real quick so I can keep going on. I think one of the optimal uses of it for like a redline hunter would be swift bow, using it right after the induction of swift bow finishes, kind of like this, so you don't get all those little draws and stuff, but still get the full damage and all that. And Finn, I do have multiple high levels. I did during the Black Friday sale. I used all my saved up LOTRO points to Valor a bunch of characters to have them at 120 if I ever actually get back to doing guides on them. Honestly, those characters are becoming quite a bit underutilized. And hello, Omega Contagion. But I also do have a lot of high level characters. It's kind of weird because right now I mostly play on Anor just because my kinship is here. If I did not have my kinship on the server, I would play mostly on Arkenstone. So I have a couple characters at the level cap for this server, and I do end game content with them. And then on Arkenstone I have my Warden at level 130, and then a bunch with the Valor at 120 that I might eventually, I just don't really have time. I would be a little bit interested in going through like end game content on them just to get a variety of characters and feels with that, but I just don't feel like I have time for that. And as far as content I enjoy in LOTRO, there are a lot of things. So I should preface this by saying, kind of like in my endgame and LOTRO video, that I enjoy endgame content. I enjoy group content and all that in LOTRO. It's just the grind type stuff and a lot of the non-content type stuff surrounding endgame that bothers me about it, so I am a little bit less inclined. I have a ton of these pocket items. They really are. Some of these just have really good itemization as far as the stats go. In particular, I guess it's the one over here with physical mastery, crit rating, max morale, and agility. All these stuff a hunter needs, or a warden, but I'm not a warden, so that is kind of irrelevant. I will actually, did that say bound to account? No, bound to Louis list. Even this one, I know I don't use will, but that's just got some good stats if you really want physical mitigation, although I don't think a lot of low-level characters probably don't need physical mitigation. Usually if it's a mitigation, it would be tactical. Potentially light armor classes might be undercapped if they're just questing. Well, I could have just sold all that stuff. So my main server lately has been Anor. During War of Three Peaks and when the Anor server was mainly in West Rohan in the Helm's Deep era, I was playing on Arkenstone more. But right now I'm enjoying the content we have on the server, and without there being any like new level 130 or above level 130 content on Arkenstone or on the regular servers, all the servers. What am I looking at? Talking about the servers and looking at quest rewards is not a good idea to do at the same time. What is this elegant feather? That is a tactical mastery one. It's a tactical mastery one with might, could be captain-y thing, maybe. But anyway, right now I'd consider my main server Anor. And Omega I play at 1440p and I stream at 1440p. So if you want all the detail, you can get that. I would stream at higher bitrate than I do. I do fairly high bitrate. It's like 18,000 it says kilobits per second on OBS, but I thought it was kilobytes. It might be kilobits. I guess it's called bit rate, so it'd probably be kilobits per second. But anyway, I would stream at a higher bitrate, but unfortunately, the internet options in my area, the highest upload speed you can get with any of the companies here is 20 megabits per second, which, yeah, that would be bits. So unfortunately, even though I'd like to have my stream even higher visual quality, I cannot, or I would drop a whole bunch of frames. I know that's not too much about the actual resolution I play LOTRO at, but it is what I do. Group quests. We need to go back north, so there is actually one that's a little bit of a quest chain, and Cave Claws, that is the one I'm wanting to do. That is why I came down here actually to do Cave Claws, and I just think I took the wrong turn at a point. This really is doing these group quests here. I know I'm going extra slow just because I'm running through killing everything when I don't really need to, but doing the North Trollshaws here, this is actually taking a little bit of a while. I really don't remember the navigation here. I think I need to go, actually I need to go back down where I was, then come round and back up, or maybe this is the turn that I needed to take. I did not take earlier. Okay, these are the trolls, so I think this is where I needed to go actually. So Omega, you play at 1440p, but you find the UI small, and yes, it can be small. I guess with my setup, I am close enough to my monitor. My monitor is 32 inches, I think. I am going the wrong way again. Need to go south. Okay, eventually we will find some of these rats, cave rats. I don't know if I've ever considered a cave claw like a rat, but it says plague of cave rats. So nice of the stone trolls to just threaten to attack. I guess they've realized how dangerous I am and that it might not be the best to aggravate me. I seem to have gotten a huge movement speed buff. I guess I got fleetness. Something I sometimes get in the blue line, but sometimes it's just like very noticeable when I actually get a movement speed buff like that. Even though sometimes I just totally don't even notice it. But yeah, with the UI at 1440p, with the way I am right now, everything is readable and all the icons are good. I usually like smaller UIs as well, at least as small as it can be where I can still see everything. If I played at 4K, like if my monitor was 4K, I think it would be probably too tiny at that point, which is really unfortunate. I know a lot of people have issues with that. Even some of the developers at Standing Stone Games have said they have like 4K monitors but can't play or can't see things if they try to play LOTRO at that resolution.
Well met.
This guy has a shop as well. How convenient.
Hail friend and well met.
I don't need that because I have the OP subscriber town services item, but it is convenient, I guess, if you don't have that. So I do need trapdoors. Oh, I need to collect spider fangs, and then I need the flesh gnawer, which I believe are a slightly different type of spider. Okay, this is something that is, I think, way better to do in the yellow line, as we have covered, but I need to add some real danger to this hunter's experience. I feel like he's gotten too confident with elites, so we need to throw him into a dangerous situation. Actually, low cut just makes this way too easy anyway, even in the blue line. Yeah, I think I do have relatively good vision, so that might be a little bit of a help. I don't know if it's also, I really don't know if I sit close to my monitor. Even going, like if I went way back here, I would still be able to see. But at some point, I could have issue if I sat maybe too far away, or if the monitor was smaller. I wonder if that would have any impact on it. I got this monitor. I really have no idea how it was so cheap, but so relatively cheap. But compared to other options when I was looking for monitors in like the 27, 28 inch range, this one was somehow cheaper than some of those options. And one of the things when I look for monitors, I know a lot of people like high refresh rate and things like that with monitors to play like higher FPS and get more smooth with that. But the main thing I look for is it being an IPS panel, because I really, especially playing MMOs where I don't necessarily feel the need for a higher refresh rate, while it might be nice, but I really like having the good colors with IPS monitors, so yeah, I somehow got a great deal. I don't remember how much it cost, but I really like the monitor, basically. Besides, the back of it is white, and I don't really like that, but I am fortunate to be looking at the front of it, where it just has a white border, which actually is kind of nice, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Omega, you said you're looking forward to the graphics overhaul that LOTRO is going to get, and I am personally a little bit more skeptical on that. It is possible that it will get a graphics overhaul or good graphics update, but I am maybe not quite as optimistic as you about it actually getting that, unfortunately. I do think it would be nice, don't get me wrong on that. I just don't know if it will actually happen, basically. And today, it's a really random thing to just talk about right now, but today really felt like Saturday in some ways, even though I worked all day and all that stuff, but it just feels like a Saturday to me. And Venom, what? It said something in Venom, something. In Venom, the egg sacs. Oh yeah, so I remember this actually having to run around, do all the egg sac stuff. Another thing with IPS is just doing videos and editing and things like that. It is much better with IPS, just seeing colors and things like that, and even with photos as well. Finn, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope you enjoyed it while you were here. Oh, I did not need to use the other melee ability. What I do need to use is split shot, at least when I get enough focus for it. Wow, this other one, for some reason I thought this other spider here was just about dead. Yeah, I hope LOTRO would get a graphics update. I don't want... So as far as just thinking about graphics in general, LOTRO, better graphics would always be nice, but there are some things that I think could potentially make the game worse, the graphics maybe even worse, if they do too much to overhaul the style of graphics. I think that is an important thing. If they do update the graphics and do an overhaul or whatever, that they keep the same style. One thing I do think they could do is get rid of all the ugly bushes that you see featured, especially in Rohan and beyond. I think that should be the very first step in a graphics overhaul, actually. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm doing what I don't need to be doing. I guess I could be doing it, but I need to be doing the egg sacs, which I think I have to go down. But I also think if I follow the path of spiders here, it'll eventually take me where I need to go. And I kind of realize Wildwood won't be coming out, I don't think, until next week at the earliest. So with this character, one of the things today, if Wildwood was actually going to be released this week, which it does not look like it will be because we have the beta going on right now. And I think they always wait at least a week until after the final round of the beta. But with this character, there was a little bit of the time pressure of maybe finishing everything in Trollshaws. Like, I want to finish all the deeds in Trollshaws, all the Slayer deeds. I think I've done a lot of the Explorer deeds already. That is Breeland. This is Lonelands. Here's Trollshaws. So yeah, I just have these Slayer deeds left, and then all these quests are just extra fun stuff to be a little bit extra on the completionist side. Here we go. I think I see some egg sacs finally. So I can get that. But with this character, just the little bit of time pressure I had with Wildwood, I actually don't have that anymore. And I'm just thinking about that because this stream has gone about 2 hours so far. Basically it's taken me a long time to actually get close. My target level again is 42. So it's taken me a little bit long with what I'm doing today, just not getting much XP doing all these fellowship quests and that sort of stuff. it's not really doing much for me besides getting that complete experience, I guess, with Trollshaws. Especially my main goal again for this character is just to get him level 42, but now that Wildwood, I don't want to say is delayed, but from what it sounded like an earlier target was for the release, it is later than that. So I'm not as worried about this character's level, and it's fine going slow. Which is usually what I enjoy in LOTRO, which is definitely different than what I used to be. I talked a little bit about this earlier, but basically I used to be somebody who just did what I needed to level in a zone, and then I like to move on to explore new areas. This was especially true like when when I was new to LOTRO. Whenever I'd be going through a zone, I was just so excited to get to the next area, get whatever level I needed to get to the next area, that I never really completed zones, or once I got to that level, even if I had a lot to do in whatever zone I was in, I would just like move on. I really should be paying attention to the ground. I might even turn floating aims on just because I have a tendency when I'm going about things like this to forget I have to do quest items, especially considering in this zone in general there just are not quite that many quests where you have to actually interact with things. Most of the quests in Trollshaws are killing things, it seems like. Such as all the quests I went through here doing earlier. I feel very fortunate to be relatively high DPS character right now. Because this could be, if I was super slow with killing elites or something, this would be taking quite a while. Okay, there is a flesh and horror egg sack over there. Oh yeah, 62 health left. Trying to maximize my efficiency here in 2-target AoE. Oh, so Adam Nelson, you stayed in Evendom until level 42, and now you're just starting Trollshaws, so you're starting Trollshaws 11 levels higher than I started it. That's one thing I like with alts is, for example, if I did a character and stayed in Evendom until level 42, I would probably not go to Trollshaws on that same character. I am the type of person that would wait to do that on an alt. So like for this character, I plan to do Wildwood, but just if I randomly had another level 40-ish character, I would probably choose Misty Mountains because that's just an option that I think would make sense and be good to do after Trollshaws, which is odd for this character since I'm going to be going back to Wildwood. I'm really going to miss this hunter while waiting for Wildwood to release, but I'll just have to focus all my interests in other areas. I don't know why, well actually I do know somewhat why, but Wildwood as a major update, as a quest pack update, as a non-mini expansion update is way more exciting to me than War of Three Peaks so far. People watched my videos on War of Three Peaks. I made one about update 28 being very weird because it was weird to me. There's just like not all that much going on about it. And compared to Wildwood, for example, we had the scenario stream, which I think there's another one coming up tomorrow if I'm not mistaken with him. That's probably going to be Angmar. I think they're going to be exploring. I don't think that was today at least. It could have been. But anyway, we had that with Wildwood, so we got to see developer insight on how they built the world for Wildwood and what was going on with that. And even games gave some interesting tidbits about the landscape and about the mobs and dynamic spawns and things like that. And we got none of that with War of Three Peaks. And War of Three Peaks had the new mission system. There were no like dev diaries or anything with that. Of course, at this point we have finally gotten some more information, but there are just a lot of things like that, I guess, that makes Wildwood way more exciting than War of Three Peaks. Even though it is, I think overall, probably a smaller update. Wonder if it seems like I could continue on the path, and maybe if it takes me back southwest after this turn. Based on the mini-map, it might do that. So Adam, you said you like, okay, focusing on the story and then breezing through mobs. I feel like, I don't know what class you're playing, but champion could be good with that. I'm not playing a champion right now, but I was thinking champion just because of the AoE and being able to do that to breeze through mobs, but the hunter is definitely good at that right now. I'm just like, as far as elites go, I don't know if you're somebody that likes to do every single quest in a zone, or if you just follow like the main story quests and do some side quests. But if you are to get to an area like this, definitely being over leveled in a good class allows you to breeze through the mobs like I am now. That's almost a little bit like me when considering my interest in instances and even raids. I am somebody who likes to breeze through trash mob fights, which with instances, they're not always designed like that, unfortunately, in my opinion. But sometimes instances, sometimes even in LOTRO, it seems like, but especially World of Warcraft, I feel like that game has more issues with this, but instances seem to be focused more on trash fights, and trash fights taking forever or whatever, and taking most of the strategy and being like the hardest parts of an instance, rather than boss fights. Hello, Michael, as well. But yeah, with LOTRO, I think overall, the group content, at least nowadays, seems like most of the difficulty is focused on boss fights, which is what I'm more interested in. So Adam, you are maining a hunter. Yeah, that is a good choice, I think, for breezing through mobs and focusing on the story and good travel during all that. Let's see, I need Trapdoor Queen. I don't know if this, probably don't need to go to this area with all the wood trolls and the horns. Ooh, so Elia, my bad classes. I honestly don't know if there's really a bad class in LOTRO. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses. Trying to think. One of the slower ones, or two of the slower ones for landscape, the captain, just because on their own they do a little bit low DPS, but that is largely because they have a lot of support. So if you play them in a fellowship, of course they buff the group's damage if you play the red line, that is. So because of that, to balance the class, they have to be a little bit weaker on their own, so they can be slow if you are looking for a fast leveling experience, I think. And then I was actually going to say the Lore Master, but they have really high burst damage, which can be great for solo and leveling. Oh, I really have no idea how to get to the Trapdoor Queen. Actually, I saw the Trapdoor Queen earlier. I already killed that spider. So I will have to take a minute to remember. I think it was in the ruins area, so I will actually go back there. Since I'm so lost now, I was actually thinking about going back to the east, but it's probably better to continue on the path I am, and this does point north. So you got aggro. But with the Lore Master, wow, I have a lot of poisons. I forget what Purge Poison does for the Hunter now. So it removes 2 of each of those from the target, okay. And gives poison resistance. I guess that would be a little bit nice as well, so I could resist some of these poisons. But yeah, with the Lore Master, I do definitely agree that class is fun. But the only reason I thought it could be, as far as the solo experience, a little bit weaker maybe, is because outside of the burst damage, and especially as you get high level when the pets get a little bit weaker, it can be a little bit slow, but overall, I don't think it is a bad choice for a landscape. So it's really hard just for me to say a particular class that's just weaker than everything else because they each do have their own strengths and weaknesses. For example, the hunter, they may be great at self-healing, which is very odd in the endurance stance, just spamming quick shot here, great at self-healing, but they are bad at healing the fellowship. That is a very rough example, but just something to highlight where a class can be very bad. But as far as Michael saying he likes to use the epic quest line as a guide, I definitely agree with that. So you like to complete all the landscape quests in each zone as the epic quest line takes you. You know, it's something I used to not really do too much of, as I have talked a lot about today, but there are a lot of spiders here on the minimap. I think I'm done and just ready for turn-ins now. Seems like that is probably the end of this quest chain and might finally be done with the North Trollshaws. It's been a long time here so far. If I don't need these spiders, I have not done this much today, but I might just try to run through everything and travel on my mount out of here. If I can find my way out, I actually am a tiny bit lost. Don't know if I need to go down here. I think that is where I kind of looks like on the map. If I go down this way, that will not be good. I think I needed to go back up here through this area out the west. Okay, so Elia, you said you mean Blue Hunter, which is what I'm playing right now, and you used to dislike Lore Masters because of the inductions. Oh, and they cancel when you move, and you cannot get used to that. Yeah, that is one thing. I feel like it could be an issue if you play a class like the Hunter and play the blue line. You get so used to moving, while you can even induct some skills, but just shooting things on the move. It could be a little bit tough to get to something that's induction-based after that. So you have a blue line Lore Master now that followed my blue LM guide from, I think that's a couple of years old now, maybe even 3 years old when I made that 2.5. Actually, yeah, 2.5 would be my guess, but anyway, with that, it sounds like the blue LM guide helped you, so I'm glad it did, but you have a pet-centric Lore Master now, which is, I think that can be fun. It might not always be the most optimal, just because I know playing a Lore Master at higher levels, at least, the red line, can be very high damage. And the pets get weaker over time as you level up. I think there's an issue with the pets actually. They stop scaling after level 105, which is a bit odd. But can definitely be fun. I don't know if you're high enough level to have Sikkim, but that is a very fun skill with the blue line Lore Master. Oh, Adam, with the hand cramping with your button rotation setup, that is actually something that I feel like happens when I play Warden, especially. Actually, I shouldn't even say especially Yellow Line Warden, but it almost does sometimes feel like especially with the Yellow Line. Especially when you get the Seize the Moment procs. Let's see, what do I want here? I don't think I want anything. Actually, here is one. I didn't even see a piece of weapon I could use here, but the one-handed mace I can use. I don't want that though. I'm curious what these look like. A lot of these cosmetics usually aren't that interesting to me in the lower levels of LOTRO. It's kind of interesting for this quest though. You get a two-handed axe, Purger of Woven Veils. That actually, with the axe, that is actually interesting because I assume it's an axe that's supposed to cut through maybe spider webs or something like that. So it's just something you get for doing all the spider quests, and then you get one of these other things. That's also funny. Sometimes I really get lost in quest rewards like this. So for taking care of the spider, she will just give me her boots. Oh no, we still have back to the road. Where is that? That is okay. I can get that. I was expecting no more quests from this NPC, so we'll go back to Barrett Chan's camp and then head west and turn that in. Oh yeah, Elia, that is definitely true with the pet tanking. Especially with the Blue Line Lore Master, because your pets are a little bit better, but yeah, that is... I don't remember how I came upon this or why I was looking it up, but... Oh, I wonder... I really don't know. Yeah, I don't know where this came from, but recently, it was probably one of my videos I was working on, but recently I went back to one of my old streams on Louis, the original Honor LM character I had here, and I came across me soloing the library at the Mirdain, the level 50 Eregion instance, and basically my strategy was to summon the bear, have it taunt the boss so he wouldn't kill me, and every time it died I would just summon it right back up and use its taunt ability. It almost feels like a little bit of cheating with the pets, just because you can do that. You can keep summoning a pet as soon as it goes down, and for example with the bear you can just keep it having, or keep using the force taunt to aggro enemies, and it is a very good strategy sometimes. But it allowed you to solo the Numenos bosses. It's been a while since I've done a Numenos, but I kind of remember some of those fights being tough, especially to solo. Yeah, Adam, to go back to your point about the Beorning, they do not have many skills. You do have both man form and bear form, but both of them have very few skills individually. So that is all that was back to the road, and I just got a little bit of reputation XP. Yeah, this character, just with the progress towards getting towards Wildwood, I guess overall is pretty good, since it really does seem like it won't be released this week. That'll give me some time, maybe this weekend or maybe later this week to... Actually, probably not later this week, I should say, but maybe, to actually get to level 42 comfortably, but also allow me to finish off Trollshaws here, maybe. Yeah, there is a word, we were just talking about this earlier, how sometimes when I stream or do videos I forget all my vocabulary. But there's a word that I meant that was not cheating, and I just totally can't think of it right now. It was not cheap either. Might have been kind of exploit, kind of like it was an exploit, but I don't even think like that. So Numenos, like I said, you did that during the quest where you had the pet ranger NPC. I honestly do not remember that at all, unfortunately. If that is like an Numenos quest. The only thing I can think of actually is Tomb of Elendil, but I'm not sure if there is a ranger NPC. Perhaps. Yeah, it could be kind of a cheesy mechanic, Mike Monroe. Or if you're just talking about Numenos as far as the landscape when you have the ranger NPC, that is nice as well. So this is the quest where I actually already looked at the quest rewards and don't want any of them. So I will just take those to sell. Wow, I should have gone here first. If only I had known, I could have gone here first. Or I guess, actually it doesn't matter, because I have to go. I would have had to gone here anyway to Barrett Chan's camp, but if I somehow could have traveled to this place first, I would have prevented me from backtracking, but again, I had to go here anyway, so that is all moot. Talk to Onod. This really is the problem. If you're just doing book quests, sometimes it is a lot of traveling. Oh, the book quest is actually in the Giant Valley? How convenient. I did not know these book quests would actually line up so well with the Fellowship quests that I plan to do. Yeah, I think Axel Evernight is right. That is called winning. Okay, get my bearings and know where I'm actually pointing. Great Stone Hoof. Somehow that sounds like a named NPC, but I think it is a generic name. I don't know if I need any more worms. Yeah, I definitely need a lot more worms, 155 more. Oh, I feel like I'm crazy, but those, I think drakes just phased in when I got, maybe I like zoned in somewhere and they just phased in. These drakes are actually the tougher ones. These exact drakes are actually the reason I wanted to get this character better gear and craft it. Just because they're ranged and they do tactical damage, so there's the extra dangers associated with both of those for this character. As somebody who likes to kite mobs and run away from them so they can't even hit me, and also just the tactical damage. Of course, don't have much defense for that at this point. Okay, so like you mentioned, let's see, this giant, he is actually the one in the thumbnail, and he's not even who I needed to talk to. I need to talk to somebody northeast of here. I wonder if it is in the Giant Valley. I really can't tell just based on the map, but it looks like it will be. But I might think it's this NPC, the evil one here. It calls him Onod, but he's Onodrim here. Hello, Wolfman. Looks like an extra weird wood troll. But it really does seem like just to have a little bit of extra safety with this character, and just because I wanted to anyway, I still want to get this character better gear. Maybe if I do intend to finish Trollshaws today, which would be a lot of Slayer deeds to do today, but might be possible. Talk to Eladon, okay. I really don't know. Honestly, the main issue with me actually finishing Trollshaws today, as much as I intended to do that, I don't want to use my map home, I don't think. But the main problem with me trying to do that is just with how late it is getting. North Trollshaws basically took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I forgot how much content there was, so I think I will go have a little bit of an intermission and show a little bit what I do for crafting, I guess. And all my other characters. It's been a while. I have actually played my Warden more recently off stream than I basically have in the longest while, just running random stuff with my kin. Random stuff as in the Osgiliath instances. We, as a kinship, since Gondor has released, we haven't done all too many of them. Usually have a whole bunch of stuff going on with the kin, so we have been doing those, like the tier 2 challenge version of those, I mean, a little bit more frequently lately, but yeah, I have not streamed them, unfortunately, because usually it comes a little bit unplanned, at least lately when we run them, but I should be able to quickly craft my hunter some gear, and I think the best way to do that is going to be traveling to my kin house I'll do it on my Runekeeper and Warden. But this is basically what I do when I want gear on one of my alts is I go to the kin house, and this is something not unique to kin houses. I believe you have to buy these from the LOTRO store or something, but there are these premium universal ingredient crate things. And there we go, whoa. I guess I was traveling that whole time while I was waiting to move, but all the gear, all the crafted stuff can use those as an option. So, for example, for the bow I want, I would either have to have all these materials, or I can just check this and it only takes 8 of them, and that ingredient crate gave me 3. But per day, per character, with each of my alts, I could come here and actually get 9 of those a day, so it's pretty easy to do that and get a lot. Unfortunately, I did not actually contribute any to these universal ingredient pack crate things, but people in my kinship did. So basically, oh no, I already crafted that. Oh well, that is a good one. I should have checked. If I was actually paying attention, I should have checked what the output was of the other one, the other option for that. But anyway, that is, I believe, all I would actually want to craft on this character, unless the melee weapons. There could be like a spear or something. I don't know if hunters can use clubs. I really like spears. Ooh, that is bad. I wonder if I'd even want the spear. Oh well, it's easy for me to craft. And it's just something actually should do the guild version. Or if hunters can use hammers. I think they can use hammers, maybe. Actually, the best thing to do when you don't know what weapons a class can use is go to the LOTRO wiki. Okay, so hunters can use one-handed hammers and maces, so not clubs, but they can use hammers, and I think I will probably do one hammer, one spear, and one hammer. That way I don't have to like go to a weaponsmith and I can at least know that my weapons are up to date as well. So one character done, somebody mentioned in chat that they like crafting earlier. This maybe isn't the most exciting crafting because I'm just like getting on and doing it real quick with these universal ingredient crates and not paying too much attention. Not really doing much of the material stuff. One thing I like with crafting is hoarding materials and never using them. That is essentially the extent of my crafting. Just because I haven't played a low-level alt in so long, I've actually not had to craft gear in a long time. This, unfortunately, sometimes takes a long time to log out, even if the log out timer, just because LOTRO's being a little bit slow with that. So, Adam, you said those things wrecked your low-level hunter trying to get through Ingmar. Oh, the drakes, okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember those type of mobs in Ingmar as well. I could definitely see the fire-breathing drakes and all their tactical damage and stuff being dangerous for a low-level hunter. As they are for my low-level hunter, who has been OP and everything else. It actually makes me feel like a glass cannon, even though I've been able to tank other stuff. Actually, I could go into the endurance stance. I could play the red line, go into endurance stance, and just spam quick shot on them. I think that would do a decent amount of healing. This character, if I have enough of the universal ingredient crates, I don't even need to travel. I can just go right here. And this would be Artisan, Medium Armor Guild, and I just want to check everything and click. Oh no, I don't. I need to make sure I'm crafting stuff with good stats. This is what takes forever. I do want physical mastery, that is important. But this is what takes forever, is the fact that I want to check all of the outputs, even if I don't need to. It's really deciding if I want that finesse or the physical mastery to go along with it. Okay, we'll do Elven for this one. Crit rating or crit and finesse, probably just plain crit rating, because I think with these main ones they have a little bit more of the primary stats. Helmet, I don't know yet. Actually, that's 405 and 340. Okay, that actually probably is better. I probably should have done the Elven on the other one as well, but I don't think it is that important. The main one is the physical mastery, I think. This one, probably go ahead and do the Elven as well. Finesse, I think I'll do the Elven. Yep. But yeah, there is a huge ease of crafting when you have all these universal ingredient packs. I really should find out who to thank in my kinship for actually getting those. Oh, the outfit on my Runekeeper? I'm glad you like it, Alaya. Can't see my face right now, but yeah, two of the goals for this outfit, I don't really know if this was a true goal. Maybe I'll log out. But a little bit of the wizard look, but one thing I wanted with the outfit is for it to be Minas Tirith themed, and I don't know if it's at all tellable, but it was supposed to be a little bit Minas Tirith going through like Gondor and even central Gondor, eastern Gondor, with the shadow of war and all that type of stuff going on. And then it turned out that it looked very good for like a wizard cult type outfit. So that is basically what it is to me now, actually a wizard cult outfit. Like a Minas Tirith wizard cult outfit, to be exact, is how I feel about it. And I kind of just realized I am way out of center of where I'm supposed to be. So there we go. I feel like I was trying to float off screen or something. Just need a little bit of adjustment. And I feel like I lost all my immersion on my character somehow doing that. Oh, I need to go to, what's his name, Elrond or something? Or Aragorn? I forget who you have to go to, but you have to go to one of those guys to start your book quest. Ooh, that spear actually, I think, looks nice with all the other stuff I have on my back. And then the hammer gets to say a sword. That is perfect. Okay, delete that. Got a new bow. Actually, this bow is not an upgrade. Wow. So the lower damage is 1 lower. It's 0.4 DPS lower, but I reduced the inductions. I can even reduce Balerion mitigation. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then I also get the crit rating. So I think this is actually an upgrade, but I'm surprised. This bow I got from the quest, that is really good. Also lose physical mitigation, but the main mitigation I need right now that we see is tactical with the fire drakes. Even if most of this content is no problem for me, I always do like outfitting my character with whatever I can do, and it's often crafted gear. Actually, that sword that I just sold, that has a lot of crit rating, but with my new gear, I don't think I'd need that. Okay, now I should be able to get everything from my Runekeeper. Go. Sometimes it takes forever to equip gear, but that is okay. So, yeah, I'm glad I have a cosmetic outfit for this character, because I would not want to look like that. Now we can try to kill one of these drakes. Actually, I should pay attention to my physical mastery. I really should have paid attention to my stats. So I have probably about 40% larger physical mastery than I had before. And I think I have a lot more morale. I don't know how much I had before, but it seems to have jumped up a lot. Okay, so Elia, you usually use quest rewards as your gear. What am I doing for the quest? I completed the Dragonkind quest, but here we go. Mountain Raiders in the Giant's Valley. This is what I want to do right now. So you usually use the quest rewards and then craft if you don't get a gear drop for a particular slot or getting under-leveled. So as far as low levels, I had most of my old gear is level 18 crafted gear. I have not found any quest rewards to replace that. Now some of the jewelry I have replaced, but a lot of low-level quest rewards like that just aren't that good. I even had a random drop, a random yellow here that replaced one of my level 18 crafted gear pieces, but yeah, crafted gear at low levels, especially like this level, is just so strong that it is always a good option. And sometimes I really do think it can make the content a little bit too breezy. Not that I was struggling before again, so I don't even know if it'll be that much of a difference. I almost feel like at this point this character goes through stuff so fast that I might as well go a little bit faster. There is... Okay, that's just a boar. For some reason I thought I remember there being something special about the boars in this area, but maybe not. I really do wonder, it's been a while since I played Redline. Oh, I have Yellow Line set up. Oh, I probably do want to keep Yellow Line just in case in here. Oh, I got a 2-point-something K crit, I think, with Scourging Blow there. I really just want to see if I can get a 5k crit with Barrage tier 3 now. Oh, so Elia, you were actually saying the opposite. It sounds like there are some good landscape rewards in on-level areas, at least at low levels. I have come across some, but as far as main gear pieces, I have not come across any. Of course, that is just this character, and very recently going through Trollshaws mainly, that I specifically remember that there are some good weapons and good jewelry pieces, I know. But that is good to know that you have come across some good gear pieces overall while leveling. Okay, now I think is the time I can try to get a barrage. Actually, to maximize my barrage, I should get penetrating shot up. Doesn't really make that much of a difference, but if I'm really just trying to get the biggest crit possible, that is what I should do. I also realize I don't have Find the Path toggled on, probably because I logged out and switched characters and did all the crafting and the such. Oh, this is a signature. I was paying attention to my skills and I didn't even look at the mob I was killing, actually. There's a 4.791. Okay. Okay, worms, I might as well defeat them if I need them for deeds. So what I'm kind of thinking for this character is I might do... Well, I'll probably do one more to level to 42, so one more stream I'm talking about. To level to 42 on this character, but then after that... Or not after that, during that, I might do actually tying up the loose ends as far as Trollshaws go with the deeds mainly. Thinking that is the big thing I want to do on this character. As far as Trollshaws go. And I am hoping that along with missions, I can turn in the missions if I want every day. Of course, that would be like off stream and such, which is okay, but that would give me a little bit XP, and I think I am very much so set with what I am doing to get level 42, basically. So Elia, it sounds like Blue Hunter for you was pretty easy at low levels as well. Actually, I have not been paying attention. I thought there was a quest to kill like wood trolls or something in this area even. I don't know, maybe I'm mixing it up with something, or I'll get it later. There's actually... Oh, maybe I completed it. There was another quest I had, but maybe I already completed it and don't even know what I need to do for it. I hear some people with the Blue Line Hunter is... They get kind of annoyed with the end game that Redline is a lot more viable. Even though for easy tier content, you of course could run Blue Line, especially thinking like tier 1 of the stair battle. I just know that particular 6-man is super easy. Overall, that you wouldn't really need the most optimized setup to get through it, but yeah, I do hear a lot of people, I don't know why, but it seems like the Blue Line Hunter is one of the most common ones, just people getting annoyed that it's no longer viable because they'll like level up with it. They really enjoy the mobility, but then come end game if they want to do more challenging content or the such, they're a little bit more limited or encouraged, heavily encouraged to go to the red line to be most optimal. It took a while, but this character is finally running into some power issues. I have a ton of power potions, so it's no problem to use them. I'll just go through the stacks I have one by one, hopefully accumulating more than I actually use though. There's a giant head smasher somewhere. The only question is the head smasher somebody who smashes heads, or does he like smashing his head? I would also bring the question, is he a giant head smasher? But it actually has the dash on head smasher, so that is already out of the question. Okay, this, especially with the power I have, which is very little right now, this actually is providing a little bit of interest, I guess. How much power does quick shot cost? 20? Okay. that seems reasonable to spam for a little bit. I'm going to be doing the endurance self-heal feature of the hunter, if I'm not stunned. This will conserve power and heal me at the same time. I really actually do hate this feeling of just spamming the skill when I know I have all these strong skills opened up. I have all this focus to use these, but just not enough power to actually use them. Okay, quests-wise, I need the giant head smasher. Oh, so in Moria, that is when you started to run into... So mobs could actually reach you. You want to kill them before they got to you in Moria. Yeah, I think there is a jump in difficulty in Moria, at least as far as I remember. That was my experience on my Beorning and my Runekeeper a little bit. There's also a big jump I noticed on my Guardian in... Oh, when was it? Honestly, I don't even remember when it was. I think it was 65 after Moria is when I noticed it on my Guardian. There was a big jump. Around level 60. Actually, it was 60 to 65 after Moria and Nidwaith on my Beorning. Or not on my Beorning, on my Guardian. And I know there's also a big jump in West Rohan, perhaps looking towards the future for you. Not really sure. I don't remember. You might have said the level your hunter is alive, but go ahead and just use a power potion. One thing I like about the Angmar group quests with the Drakes is the final boss there is, I believe, an elite master and has like 2 elites with him as adds, and it's kind of similar in the giant... Oh, here's the head smasher. He did not look any special at all. One thing that's kind of creepy actually a little bit to me is the detail of the textures for these giants. So the one in the thumbnail, yeah, it's just kind of creepy to me. For some reason, the way they look and even the detail, the resolution of the texture, it just gives me that feeling. And this place, I could be going through it a whole lot slower if I actually had my gathering up. There are just so many things to gather here. I see them without even having them tracked. But there's like the Lebethron branch has Dwarf Iron deposit there. If I was a scholar, there's even another Dwarf Iron deposit right there. But it's almost a good thing, I feel like, as far as the sake of this character's progression, that I actually have not gotten my crafting up. Because it's something... I have a very bad habit of sometimes focusing too much on gathering mats, especially when I don't even use them, don't even need them. Which would be the case with this character. I wouldn't need all these Dwarf Irons, wouldn't need all these Lebethron. The Platinum could be a little bit useful if I ever actually got my Jeweler, for example, up to using guild stuff. Of course, there is always the option of the auction house and selling them. That is one nice part about gathering resources, but sometimes, especially I guess on the Anor server, the auction house just isn't very frequently used, not too populated overall. Okay, I really should just be killing these mobs. Actually, I want to do a yellow line pull. It's convenient you can just switch specs like this on the fly in LOTRO, especially... Wow, I don't even have endurance stance. I'm missing a lot on my skills, actually. The main one is endurance stance, so I think there are other couple ones. Also, bright campfire. I don't have that on my blue line set up. That is the annoying thing about playing multiple specs as you level up. If you like level on one and you get a skill, it won't be on your other spec skill bar. Yeah, that's definitely an issue I have a lie is I just hoard every crafting material I loot, and if I come across them, I will not stop. I will just keep gathering them as much as I can. I wonder how much damage explosive arrow does. It does a decent amount, actually 1,000. And he almost smashed me. He was doing his induction, he was about to come down. I don't know if that actually would have been dangerous for this character. I almost wanted to see it happen just to, well, see what would happen. I feel like with a fight like this especially, that's when I can feel the slowness of the yellow line. Might not have been the case like 20 levels ago. I know yellow line was super strong around level 20 for this character, but at this point I just think it has gotten definitely noticeably weaker than the other specs. It's good to test it out, I think, every once in a while, test each of the specs out just to see how they perform as you level up, but it is so far very clear for this character that blue line remains the strongest. Except I have not tested red line for a few levels, probably like 5 levels even. Okay, so I am doing turn-ins, not killing random things as I seem to be wanting to do. Okay, so as far as the outlook for the stream goes, since I've been going almost 3 hours now, I probably will be wrapping things up somewhat soonish. Yeah, I can definitely see, especially if you run into those drakes that breathe fire, this could definitely be a dangerous area. And I feel like there's something Mountain Raiders. What quest is that? Talk to Ringle? Oh, maybe that is going to be coming up soon. Deficient Kinsman. Okay, we'll see what this quest leads to, but there's something. It might not be here in the Giant Valley, but there's just something that I am remembering about there being different mobs in an area very much like this. It was a group content area. So we'll see if I eventually do run into that. But I'm really curious where it was. I was thinking it was either like stone troll type mobs or even wood troll type, which both would be fitting for this region. I know trolls are a little bit different than giants, but just for example, in Giant Halls up there, there are also trolls as well. Nice colors for the area again. I think it's probably a little bit after sunset. Gloaming. I don't remember if gloaming is late in the day or near the morning, but I think it was light out earlier. It's almost like I've just been here so long the things are blending together. Ooh, might as well get more quests while here. Scouting the mountains is an actual quest, which is somewhere. Oh, that's Misty Mountains. Neat. Even though I'm not doing Misty Mountains, it's still neat that it would lead to Misty Mountains at least. Okay, probably not going to do any of these quests, but I have them just in case I run across the mobs. What I want to do is untrack all these new quests I got and look at the book quests. Because that is, as far as I know, outside of repeatable stuff, all I have left in this area is the book quests, and I don't know. I have to go to Thorinhead for that. Might actually be best for me to just run down there. Oh, I am level 40, so I could go Westbury. Is it worth it though? Let's see. I'll see how I can get down this mountain. See what sort of injuries I have after this. Okay, I will continue going on this path. I almost feel like I am falling for the sunk cost fallacy right now. But the other option for travel, since I am level 40, was to go to Westbury, and then take the swift travel to Southbury, and then take the swift travel to Rivendell, then take the swift travel to Thorinhad. I think overall it might be quicker than what I am doing, but it's a lot of effort, and with this I can just like go on auto run and do nothing basically. And I get to look at my messy inventory and look at all my crafting materials, all the scroll cases. It's very satisfying having so many things like that. It piles up in the inventory and takes way too much space. Yeah, the Trollshaws hills, they can definitely be confusing. I guess I feel a little bit better with that just because I have been here. It's kind of weird with Trollshaws. I had not gone through it on any character in the longest time. I might have gone through it on 1 or 2 characters very early in my days in LOTRO. But then I went through it on Louisden actually. I don't remember when that was, but I went through it on him. I think it was probably 2018-ish, I want to say. Or maybe 2019-ish even. And then there is my Beorning. I went through it more recently, like actually last year. Oh yeah, Laia, that is actually a very good option for traveling. This character, he has not died in a very long time. This is probably one of my longest lived characters as far as levels. I at least don't remember dying at all since I started the Trollshaws, which is very crazy for me, especially even some of the stuff I did today with pulling multiple elites and that type of stuff. It of course wasn't all very difficult stuff that I did. It was manageable. I obviously lived, but I don't know. I just tend to usually be dangerous and a little bit, I guess, careless in MMOs, just going about the content. And it seems like I get myself in dangerous situations a lot. I have a little bit with this character, but overall there just has not been much that has put me in danger. I feel like the biggest danger has actually been falling off a hill a little bit too far, which those... sounds like the hills here. Anger Jim Derringer there. I wanted to take the other path. Okay, we'll go this way. I really don't remember the... I am like 90% sure that at least it used to be the guest rooms is where you got your class deeds for level, I think 39 is when you can get them, but for some reason I just have this feeling that it's not there anymore, but I will go there. I don't think I can cross the river, so I'll go this way. So actually with Trollshaws, I feel like I have not died that much just overall in my time here falling off hills, but there are a lot of other areas. It's kind of... I almost feel like Trollshaws is an outlier because I don't. Usually I am somebody that falls off hills. I don't know why, but I really like Rivendell. I guess I just don't go to Rivendell all that much, but I really like it with the night colors here. Anyway, we can get moving on. Rivendell's just tucked into a very nice valley there. I think I'm headed the right way. Plus the waterfalls, they just add a little bit extra. They break up the continuity, I guess, a little bit of the mountainous landscape there. Also, Foracle, that is a very pleasant place, I would have to agree. Oh, the Foracle quests, they're very centered around the milestones. I actually hardly even pay attention to milestones too much in LOTRO, probably less than I should. Okay, so we got Angmar. That would actually be fun to do on this character. Yeah, it does not look like... I really don't know why. Actually, let me check my mail. Legend grows, detached items, just in case I am missing something. Level 39. Uh-oh, do I have to talk to my class trainer first? I am actually out of quest slots. Wow. We'll cancel some of these Lone Land quests. So, For the level 39 class stuff where you get those class deeds, I was like 90% sure you had to go here for that. And I might after I talk to the class trainer in Bree, but for some reason I feel like some characters have had to go to Elrond's library, talk to Elrond for that. So I was actually very curious what this character, what it would be like. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Angmar, but I actually do like Angmar. The environment is fitting. It's definitely something after spending a whole lot of time there I wouldn't mind getting out, but as much as people seem to hate Angmar, I think it's a very immersive zone, actually. I like going in there. Oh yeah, Laia, both of those parts with Oracle are true. It's kind of flat plains type, which is easy to find your way around, definitely. No falling off mountains there. Or at least it'd be a lot harder to fall off something. I think there are some areas you can fall, but I don't know if you can even kill yourselves. One thing, I don't know, just a little thing is maybe if you have your ambient light, I don't know if you have that turned up, but that makes it a lot brighter, especially under the trees type areas. Like if I had my ambient light down, I actually do think this is a little bit, if I want a fully immersive feeling, this would be a little bit better, but it's so hard to see. And I actually have my monitor brightness up for while I stream, especially I have my room so bright. If I were not streaming, I'd have my room a lot darker. I would have a light on. I can't actually stand gaming completely in the dark, but I would be a lot darker, and what am I going on about? My monitor brightness especially would be a lot lower, basically. But yeah, Angmar, if I weren't doing Wildwood on this character, just playing a character at this level, it makes me want to do all these low-level zones again. I just love doing them so much. Eriador is so fun to me. Okay, so, talk to Legolas. Oh, we're going right back. I'm actually, since I have to go right back to Legolas in the guest rooms area, I'm going to do my class quest and then head back there. But as an outlook for the rest of this stream, I don't know if I'll do all the book quests. I actually don't even remember how many more book quests there are. I feel like for some reason somebody might have said there were like 10 chapters or something. I don't really remember. I think Flambard Took is, yeah, over there. But I will probably go to Rivendell and then maybe get towards wrapping up. It is fairly late for me, 10 o'clock, but would be good for me to be getting done soon and getting going to bed. And I do have the swift travel for... No, dismount. Whew. It's a good thing that swift travel is not immediate travel. I guess I could have traveled back so it wouldn't have been all that bad. Okay, yeah, Laia, I just know with the ambient light, it really helps. I always have it all the way up. Sometimes I feel like I should turn it down just because I honestly do think this looks a little bit better when I actually turn it down, but this you can actually see so much more. I could definitely see this getting annoyingly dark even if it is maybe more accurate. I actually wonder if there is a setting that's supposed to be more accurate. As far as I know, by default, it would be at 0. 50 wouldn't be a bad option. It actually used to be something, I can continue on with the quest while I talk about this, but it used to be something that I would actually have at 0 and only turn up if I was in particularly dark areas. Okay, so your legend grows, I finished that. And removed. Okay then. Maybe Elrond, who actually went to both of them, and neither of them I think had my hunter deed stuff, unless I already have that. Let me see what it says here. Maybe it's not level 39, maybe you get it at like level 40 or something. Oh, I am level 40. Guess it's been so long since I played a character Poison. What Poison? Back when Purge Poison removed poisons. I think they even removed poisons from the whole fellowship or something like that. This character, I've actually paid the least amount of attention to class deeds just relative to all my other characters on the server. Usually as in a couple of years ago when I was leveling all my new characters on the server, I would actually pay attention, always be working on the class deeds. I don't think there's anything... You can actually barter for those with mithril coins.
Hello there.
I don't think I would ever do that, but that's a little bit interesting, I guess, that you could just do that. I could even get Guide to East Angmar and use that right now. Well, I have to buy the books from the trainer? That is possible. Has it really been so long since I've done these deeds that I forgot you had to do that? That sounds familiar. Yeah. I honestly cannot believe I forgot that. It, I guess, has been too long since I've done a level 39 character. I just totally forgot that. Yeah, I need to talk to Legolas and Rivendell, so I need to talk to him for 4 things in total. 3 of these being the class deeds. Those are actually, I wonder if they were expensive back in the day. I don't think 189 silver was like super unaffordable for a level 39 way back in the day, but at least heard gold was a lot harder to get. Which, speaking of gold, I wonder how this character is doing. 20 gold? I think I made maybe like 7 gold just doing Trollshaws and vendoring random stuff. And yeah, those books, was able to buy them for silver at the vendor.
What can I do for you?
It definitely makes sense now why the Your Legend Grows took me to the class trainer. For some reason I thought they were like quests, but they were books that I need to get, and I want to make sure I navigate the faster way this time. I'm actually considering using the new pocket item just for the stats, because this character, I don't care. I want to get level 42, but now that I'm already close to level 41, and with Wildwood probably not coming out this week, I don't think the XP gains are all that important as far as getting 25% more, but maybe I can leave it just to be safe.
Megovanen. What can I do for you? What do you
2 of these are orange and 1 of them is red. That's actually a little bit interesting, I think. Okay, talk to Legolas and Rivendell and track down the wood trolls. So this is a travel now quest, and I think this is actually, somebody mentioned the area I was looking at earlier. This goes around there, I think. So this quest, oh, it's not the level 44 one, that is Angmar. This one gives a bow, which is not an upgrade from what I have. I really think it's crazy there's just the random, I seem very strong right now. I know I'm not paying attention to the mobs or what damage I'm doing, but they just keep coming. But as far as the quest reward goes, this bow, it's item level 42, and just one of the random quests had an item level 45 bow. So it's a little bit odd with the rewards there. I think the particular quest reward, the item level 45 bow, is extra strong. Especially considering, I guess you could technically get that around level 35. Be a very strong bow for that level, which I guess this character was using it not quite at that low, but a little bit. Oh, the Megavanen. That one, that's a cursed quote. So with the Megavanen, there's actually, a lot of people seem to use that in game for just greetings. I don't really mind it overall. So yeah, Legolas, he really doesn't seem like a hunter because his damage is bad. One thing I like, there are some areas where the NPCs actually do relatively decent damage. It's kind of, I feel like a lot of older areas, maybe that's not the case, but I don't even have an example for where this is true, but there have been some areas I have gone through where NPCs have done surprisingly decent damage. They just clap for how well our fight went. I like his outfit a little bit. Actually, I'm not too sure. The back of it looks okay. As far as like thinking towards an outfit that I would want to use. Okay, I might as well do what I do best and just pull everything. Especially, I don't even know if we have to go this way, but I might as well test this character out. See what he can do, especially with all these buffs and with Legolas going on. I feel like if there was a time for me to try to get a 5k crit, this would actually be that time. Legolas does have a lot of morale. I will give him that at least. But yeah, that he couldn't even kill that Huorn while I was doing all that other stuff. Very much so not a hunter thing. And that's funny, Jim, you mentioned Legolas, Master of the Potato Knife. When I was reading up what Shaws is, since this is the Trollshaws, as far as the zone goes, Shaws are apparently the part of the potato plant that sticks out, at least from what Google said. There's a 7.5k crit. And it sounds like the potato knife is actually perfect for this zone then. That probably explains why he is using a potato knife instead of a strong knife. Oh yeah, Elia, actually missed your last message there. I do agree that they probably don't want the NPC clearing everything and not giving the player anything to do. So from that perspective, it would make sense that NPCs are weaker in quests like this. What doesn't make too much sense to me is that Legolas would be weaker than some random level 40 hunter. And even though it may appear that I share the name of Legolas as Louisless, that is completely a coincidence. He put some bleed on this Huorn though. A serious wound for 300 something damage over time. Wonder what my barbed arrow bleed would do right now. 714. Wow, Blood Arrow. I don't know what it is about Blood Arrow, but it seems to have a very, very high crit magnitude. It seems to crit higher than even tier 3 Barrage. Oh, Legolas doesn't have the inspiration buff. That is true. He is not that inspired. Inspired greatness. Let's see, I actually want to read this just to see what it says about that. So some moments draw forth the hidden reserves that dwell within all free folk. This is one such moment. So the way I interpret that right now with Legolas is, just by being around Legolas, I feel such inspired by the greatness that I feel I need to be great and show Legolas that I am a true hunter. And he's just going weak on the mobs to make me actually feel like I'm doing that. And he's using his potato knife just in case. Wow, these trolls are really bouncing me around. Hello, Campaz G4. I really like the spear. I know most people, well, I don't even know what most people use for hunters, but I usually don't think people think of spears for primary hunter weapon, melee weapon, but I just really like spears. Of course I like the warden, so that's a big factor for helping me like spears, but even for other classes like even Beorning or something like that, or even champion, I just like spears. I know a lot of them don't get bonus damage or whatever for racial traits and the such, that spears are better than the other weapons, so it's also not commonly used for that, but in short, I am basically just a fan of spears, and even with the hunter here using the few melee abilities I have, it's just nice having a spear, I think. Plus, along with the other hunter stuff on the back, it does give a little bit of something just on the back of the character extra for cosmetics and looks, I guess, visual appeal. I think that's also there. So I have an odd relationship with halberds. The main issue I have with halberds is the high elf captains. I really don't like their animations with halberds, and it's not unique to halberds. They have the same animations with two-handed axes and two-handed hammers, but I just really don't like the animations they have with those, and it's a struggle for me to play my high elf captain, because I like the high elves. Compared to race of man, I'd rather be a high elf. But I struggle to actually use halberds as much as I like that weapon type, and I like using halberds. For example, you can use halberds as a cosmetic weapon on a guardian or even a champion, and I'd rather use that. Wow, a 10.8k is a record for this character. See, I had the potential to one-shot elites this whole time. I just needed to be properly inspired to do so. Well, I am one level closer now. I feel like level ups, thinking way back in the day, level ups used to be a lot more exciting for me, but now I just feel like it's okay, one level higher, can move on. I guess when I was younger and newer to games and this stuff seemed a little bit more of a challenge, maybe. And leveling took a little bit longer. It seemed like a bigger achievement each level up. Oh, there's some people here now. Don't really know if they would qualify for people. A Nazgul, Toshak, and a couple wood trolls. But there are some creatures here at least. Oh, we actually do get to fight the Nemesis. That is exciting. He doesn't have all that much morale, I will say. At least what I would expect for a Nemesis compared to some of what we fought already.
Dread has passed, but the memory is evil. How can I be?
I feel like that's the big achievement of the Trollshaws. I kind of forget there's stuff like this in LOTRO just because there's not that much of it really going on. That's kind of neat. Normally I skip this stuff all right away, but we can watch it a little bit. I'll catch up with chat. So the Nazgul leveled up. There's a brighter ray of light over him. Oh, I might have missed that. Get my mouse out of the way. My cursor. And Andrew, you have been preparing for Wildwood yourself. You got your lore master to 20. You still have a little bit to go. And it definitely would take some getting used to after a burglar and warden. Actually, there's a couple parts of it that... Ooh, I just dropped a bunch of frames with this stream, but there's a couple parts of the lore master that I actually consider similar to the burglar in a way. This is actually very similar to the gear I just crafted, and I did not mean to snort like that. Or it wasn't even a snort, it was like the opposite of a snort, but anyway, I will take the hope tokens. That is by far the most useful looking. I don't have enough room to do that, but I will use my subscriber town services.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Elrond. But yeah, I think Lore Master is a fun class. It would just take a little bit getting used to. The similarities compared to the Burglar is mainly, well, they both debuff if you play the yellow lines for each of them. I was thinking the slow, kind of methodical pace of gameplay would be a little bit similar to them, but both classes you can just totally go without that. The Burglar, of course, has very high damage in the red line, and the Lore Master has high burst damage, AoE burst damage in the red line, but they're very different other than some of that little bit kind of class fantasy part of them. Not class fantasy, but I don't know, gameplay styles a little bit. They're very different overall. Yes, I would agree. With that, it'd take a bit to get used to, especially both Burglar and Warden. Neither of them are induction based. You'd have to get used to standing still and doing inductions or whatever on the Lore Master. It's a good class though. I feel like that'd be a good class to fit in for Wildwood. And yeah, Elia, I definitely agree with you. The classes feel distinct. That is one criticism. Wow, there are so many things. When I think about World of Warcraft, there are so many things that I actually missed in my video about it not being exciting. But that is one of the things. A lot of the classes feel homogenized and the same. And in LOTRO, in comparison, all the classes do feel very different and very distinct.
Hope is not in vain. Will you lend me your aid once more?
Alright, got an earring. Max morale and resistance. So we are on book 5, chapter 1, Into the Misty Mountains. That actually is what it says. I was just saying that, but I did not know that was the actual name of that. So I am done with Trollshaws, except for deeds, and all these repeatable quests, but they're repeatable. Technically, this is a Trollshaws quest. That's actually a little bit bothersome. I know it doesn't really matter. I could just cancel it and be done with it, but this is in the Trollshaws section of the quest log, so I almost feel the need to do it just because of that. Because I have done not technically all the other Trollshaws quests. There are also a few Trollshaws quests that unlock at higher level, but I won't really count those. There's this quest that takes you to Evendom, and you have to do a couple things in Evendom, as we found out, that I didn't want to do. And then there's this one to just go to Glowin's camp. Or, did it say in Glowin's camp? Yeah, at Glowin's camp. It does look like I have a quest up here to the north. I can just check out what that is. Sage of Eriador. So Andrew, you have a playlist with my Lore Master guides. And yeah, my guides, just in general with my guides, they're very oriented towards leveling in casual war. And I think Gin, I actually haven't watched any of Gin's guide. It might be useful for me to watch one just to see what he has, but as far as I know, okay, I probably won't be doing this. Has challenged me. You know, I don't know. I probably have done one of these reflecting pull things, but really don't remember it. Remember ever doing one specifically. Wonder what you can get with the Marks of Triumph, though. I really don't know. Barter items, Mark of Triumph. Okay, so you could get things like that. Yeah, probably won't really ever do one of those, but it's kind of neat you can do that to replay instances like that. That was actually overall, as far as solo instances go, or book quest instances, that was actually a fun one to me. Especially since we got to talk about Legolas and how weak he seemed. But yeah, this character, other than deeds and levels, is ready for Wildwood. Just want to get one more level. That's not even all too important. And to go back to Higgins' guides, I believe he does more endgame oriented and more... Yeah, basically more endgame oriented and more challenging content oriented. As far as I know, so could be good to get both of those types. Anyway, this character, I should organize his inventory and then probably get wrapping up here. Seems like it was a sudden ending. Of course it was not a sudden ending, it was a big ending, but definitely not sudden because we basically saw that coming the whole time. At least it seemed like it to me. Gloves of Bauer here. They're bound on equip, but I don't think they're any good. Square bat? I want to see what that looks like. That actually does look kind of like a square bat. Definitely don't want that. Just thought I would look at it based on the name. Anyway. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a pretty good stopping point as far as the stream. It just seems kind of sudden to me because I haven't been preparing any of my outro stuff. And yeah, Rivendell is a good place to rest. Maybe that's what I should find. I really like down here. I'll go down here to rest. Right on this bridge. I don't know, I like facing both of these ways. They're both pretty good views. Actually get my character. So as far as future content goes, I really don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow or Thursday. I have not planned my week out that far. Unfortunately, I might do some sort of video with the update 29 beta, but I'll see what I have time for. And otherwise, I might stream something else, something other than this character, just to get a little bit of change of pace of him. Actually, tomorrow I'll probably do a stream with Mithril League. I totally forgot to do one of those last week, so I'll try to actually remember to do a stream with my kin tomorrow. And otherwise, yeah, I plan to get this character, continue getting him prepared for Wildwood. Might do that upcoming, and then there's the potential for this weekend having an exciting stream. But we'll see how that goes. I think with the Mithril League, we're going to be doing some nostalgia runs, as they're called, and doing some older content. And some of it will scale like level 100, so we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully I will be able to do all that. But as far as this stream goes, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed seeing me continue progressing towards Wildwood on this hunter. It'd be nice if I could get a matching mount for this outfit. That is one thing with LOTRO. There are more mounts that you could actually match to outfits. That would be very nice. Like basically get cosmetic armor and put it on your mount instead. But anyway, as far as this stream goes, I hope you all enjoyed it with all the content. I am definitely enjoying this hunter, surprisingly so, just because I know hunter has been one of my least played classes recently, and I think it's almost a problem. I just haven't played it so much. I almost expected to not enjoy the hunter, but actually getting to questing on a hunter has been very fun. And that is all I have, so thank you all for joining. And wait, I totally messed up my outro there. If you all did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And thanks for joining and chatting, and